I'm Lazy B, justice seeker, story keeper, and we're still watching, waiting for justice.
Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday. The week's almost over. Who did not have this trial on their radar? Because I certainly didn't. It's always the ones you never really hear about that end up being good ones to watch. This is so incredibly sad. And I think a lot of families make these mistakes. However, I think he's going to go to prison for a long time. I really, really, really do. I think he's always gotten his way. George Pino. He is charged with manslaughter and homicide by vessel. September 2022 was Labor Day weekend, and his daughter was turning 18, and they took a bunch of girls, it's like 13 of them, on their boat, and they had all these drinks for all of them. They, like White Claws, Trulies, what are those called? High Noons, all those kind of seltzery drinks. Yeah, so these are the kind of parents that just go and buy loads of alcohol for teenagers. And this is a real problem. And there are a lot of parents that do this. And they think, well, it's fine because we're the ones supervising them and this is the best way. It is not. You're not your child's friend. It's not cool. And I think this man's going to go to prison. I think he is used to getting his way, though. I looked up and he's worth, according to what I Googled, right? I think it said upwards of 1.5 billion with a B. So when the boat crashed and it hit a channel marker, he was going 47 miles an hour in a boat with a bunch of drunk teenagers. That is very, very fast on a boat. Hit a channel marker, and there were injuries. One girl was, I think, permanently injured. I don't know if it was some kind of paralysis. And then another girl died. And apparently the injuries would not have killed her, but she drowned. She was under the boat, trapped. And George, the driver, didn't go right under the boat and search for her. She could have been okay. But this is just, to me, I don't know. I'm kind of mind blown watching it because you're getting to see, it's basically a lot of wealthy Miami families. They were at the Ocean Reef Club. It's just a lot of, I'm feeling entitlement from the Pino family. That's just what I'm feeling, but it's good to see everybody. And I thought, I don't know how many of y'all watched my little introductory video today, but I kind of did it to just promote this, just to give like a quick snapshot. Obviously, I can't play all the testimony. I don't have 40 hours to do that, but the gentleman that owned the boat and that was driving the boat is on trial. He's out on bond. Let me show you this first. This is a little video that I made that gives a little background on the story. This is the most bizarre courtroom. I've seen some weird ones, but this one, so the judge reminds me of Roz from Monsters, Inc., but it's just so cluttered. If I'm going to have a trial on national TV, like I'd be cleaning that courtroom. It's got like stained glass. I don't know, it's like weird vibes. So, Melissa, it's good to see you, and John Smith and Tater, and is it Shauna or Shayna Hirsch? Good to see you. Coercive Controls of Crime, always good to see you. Little Miss Red Velvet, hello. G's Dog Moms, Quilting Girl, Quilting Gal. Yeah, I have a lot of it with underage. Hey, True Crime Wifey. Yes, 16 million. The family with the girl that had the permanent injury, they settled. They got 16 million. But if he's worth 1.5 billion, that's nothing. So maybe won't play all this, but this is the little video that I made today. Hey, Kate. Hey, Cat Ride. Yeah. Oh, yes, he was drinking, but they're trying to say he'd only had 2 beers. Is that not what everybody says? In every cop video, DUI pullover you see, they're like, "Have you been drinking?" "I only had 2. I only had 2." That's what everybody says. "I only had 2." They were out in the boat. They were on this sandbar. They were drinking. Um, he should have taken a plea deal, but, um let's just watch this, and I don't know what the bailiff is doing in a sweatband. There's just a lot going on here. So, here we go. And this is beautiful Lucy on the left here, who was killed in this. So right here at her senior year, and they all they all went to a private Catholic school together. Is it just me, or does this courtroom look like a storage closet? I can't tell what is to the left of the judge where the bench is. There's like all these slots with stuff in there. Then there's a microphone taped to her desk that kind of extends out by the witness. And then it's like it's all stained glass or something behind there. It's interesting. This footage is all from the day that the trial started a few days ago. I believe it was on Monday, I think. And before the proceedings start, George is hugging and talking with people in the audience, and they're like, "I love you." And it's quite the, what's the word? Theatrics? Or is this not unbelievable? So that's his daughter there, and she's so affectionate with her dad. It makes me uncomfortable. Ugh. But you gotta think this courtroom, so if you think about raising kids or maybe when you were in high school, if there were ever like a dozen families that your family was tight with and you all had these tight friend groups, they're all in the courtroom. And I'm sure I would guess it's divided. I don't know. I would think most are with the victim in this, but it's just cram-packed, and so while, things are delayed and attorneys are doing their thing, he's just standing here hugging and kissing on people. It's so uncomfortable. Or the display of affection, but the judge kinda sets the record straight in a little bit. Fast forwarding here because the audio was turned off in the court anyway, so just gonna keep forwarding. There's 2 things that bother me in this clip. One, it looks like George's daughter is, like, smiling. Now, I know a lot of times when people are nervous or anxious, they have a different response, but one of her best friends was killed, and her dad, yes, is on trial for manslaughter. The second thing is the bailiff. Is this a sweat headband? Yeah. "I love you, daddy. Please take me shopping in Bal Harbor Shops." Yeah, BETT. It's a super weird courtroom. Just be prepared, the audio is horrible when we start watching testimony. When I made this video, I was able to do, like, reduction and back noise, but it's really bad audio. Okay, so the courtroom is so crowded, the bailiff is removing people to go to another courtroom where they have to watch it. So if anybody's like what do you call those people? Like an intern or something like that, they're moving them out.
All rise.
Look at this background, this courtroom, y'all. Look at it.
Please be seated, thank you.
Not standing in the courtroom, you must go outside and take your seat.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
She kind of reminds me of like if Donna Adelson had been a judge. I don't know. And she also just reminds me of Roz from Monsters Inc. a little bit. And then they bring in the jury and they just keep filming. And so you get to see like all the jury's feet. I mean, look, drinking out of this coffee.
Can do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Oh, and just heads up, I really like this prosecutor.
All right, let me go over some ground rules for everyone in the courtroom. See, we're a full courtroom. During the course of the proceedings, it's typical that no one takes the phone out. No one has a phone on. You can leave your phones on vibrate, please, but don't take them out. There'll be no.
Noted that would mean that witnesses will not be able to be in the courtroom or observe on Zoom. Anyone that's here, and I would not ask anybody to be excused from the courtroom for opening statements. But once the proceedings begin with the witnesses testifying. I know we touched on the issue of the fact that Cecilia Pino, Mr. Pino's wife, is listed as a witness, both by the state and the defense. Unlike family members of the deceased that have a constitutional right under Florida's Constitution as well as Marcy's law, they have the right to be here. I will tell the court I do plan to call Mr. Fernandez, Lucy's dad. I do not intend to call Mrs. Fernandez, her mother. I don't know if the defense is going to wish to call her. I was asked to accept service or subpoenas for both of them, which I have done. They're both present. I would like to inquire whether or not the defense is going to try to exclude Mrs. Fernandez from these proceedings.
No, we won't.
Your Honor, the next thing has to do with some discussions that have been had over the last 24 hours or so. I've had conversations with Mr. Shrebnick as well as Mr. Shapiro.
If I could just interrupt. Those conversations need not be part of the proceedings today.
To the extent that I will reiterate that the state is still willing to have an open mind. If the defendant wishes to pose any kind of plea offer that would be acceptable, his attorneys know the range of what the state would be willing to accept. I'm still willing to consider that. If he does not wish to do that, I would ask if Your Honor would make any plea.
Has anybody Googled, I didn't, what they think the state might have thought was reasonable for a plea deal? And of course, this guy, he's not going for a plea, but I think he's going to be put away. He might die in prison, actually, because he's like 55 right now.
Well, we can certainly, the court thinks it's appropriate, I can convey what the state is offering.
I have not made an offer. I have indicated a bottom line of what the state would maybe accept.
I'm not going to make any inquiry at this point.
Okay.
Unless there is some further discussion that I need to become involved and make it on the record inquiry with Mr. Pino, I'm going to decline to do so.
I just would not want to have a situation where if he were to be found guilty, that he would make an allegation that he actually wanted to engage in some type of negotiations, but for whatever reason, wasn't able to.
I think it's clear.
Okay.
Okay, so I think he's going to be found. I know they didn't blood alcohol test him, but afterwards, there was a lot of attempts from what I've read to get people to try to change testimonies. And I think that's going to make him look really bad. And I also think his wife's testimony the other day it lacked empathy, in my opinion.
Works.
Your Honor, there was a motion in limine regarding a couple of photographs of Lucy Fernandez at the hospital. I have 2 photographs that I intend to introduce into evidence today. They were previously provided in discovery and they were part of a large email list of the state's evidence. I have copies of those available for the court to review because I would be introducing them probably through the state's first witness. So that in order to have a smooth transition from openings into that, I figured this would be a good time to address that.
Let me ask you, getting back, working back.
So y'all are saying he's a big time attorney, which I'm sure he is. If this guy's worth over $1 billion, what do y'all think they're charging him? Like $5 million or something, probably. Okay, this is where the prosecutor brings up the family's display of affection. So.
And the last thing, Judge, is just, I don't know if all of the defendant's family members were here when I raised a concern about the amount of displays of affection between the family and Mr. Pino. I understand fully that they want to support their loved one, and I have no problem with that. But I think that public displays of affection, like what we've seen thus far, is not appropriate in front of the jury or, even in the hallways, things of that nature. And I would just ask, and I've advised everybody on the side of Ms. Fernandez and such that throughout this trial, we must maintain proper decorum, no outbursts, no anything like that. We're not to have any interaction with any of the jurors. But I just want to make sure that there's no displays that are inappropriate for a courtroom.
All right, the only thing of that I need to respond to would be the last comment as part of the rules of the house for everyone. It's an understatement, this is a difficult proceeding for probably everyone in the courtroom, for whatever those reasons might be. This is a court of law. And I expect everyone will conduct themselves respectfully, appropriately, during the proceedings. If there is something that is disturbing or upsetting, please go outside. Avoid shows of emotion. Again, if that happens, it makes it not only very uncomfortable, but it's inappropriate for a jury to see any of that. And so I expect that kind of conduct from everyone in the courtroom. Please, no public displays of affection within the courtroom. Again, if you see anyone with a juror badge outside the courtroom, avoid them. And if you're in a private place, then it's much different. Okay, so anything that potentially could be causing influence to any of the jurors would not be proper. And when they hear, obviously monitor the courtroom. I don't anticipate having any difficulties along those lines. Everyone can be used to respect each other's space here and respect the process. Okay. That's it for that. Mr. Shredder, what do you have?
Judge, over the weekend, there was another boat accident at the Cutter Bank Channel. I was informed that a father with 3 kids collided with one of the markers at a slow speed. The 8-year-old son was ejected, sustained a brain injury, significant brain injury. There was media attention surrounding it, at least on Local 10. Then there were the postings by folks about this case, people trying to correlate the event tragedy of this weekend having nothing to do with Mr. Pino and making comments about Mr. Pino. I want to make sure that our jury has no exposure to that kind of those sarcastic remarks by the public to a tragic event. So I ask the court, when the jury is available, that you would inquire whether they've seen anything, even if it's not directly about the Pino accident, there was this other accident over the weekend.
I'm gonna, as like we do every single day, make that inquiry just overall.
So the attorney saying down there in Florida, there was just a boating accident where a child was ejected from a boat and has a brain injury. He just doesn't want jurors to know about that because it could affect them. Melissa asks, anyone know if he's found guilty, how long he can go away for? So from my searches in Florida, it could be 15 to 30 years. I mean, I don't know. I don't think this was intentional, but that's what manslaughter is, right? Like it's involuntary manslaughter. I mean, he was reckless. What was he looking at? You're driving a boat, you're responsible for all of those people, and you run into a big steel pole that had reflective stuff on it. I mean, you're looking at something. I mean, people saw him drinking Bud Light. We don't know how much. Yeah, but it is manslaughter. He was in the oh shoot, what is that water called? Biscayne Bay, I think.
About any information about this case or anything else that might be seen later.
Thank you. We had proposed last week, I had suggested to the court when we were doing voir dire that the court should consider instructing the jury on the.
All right, well, that's enough of that. We're just gonna go ahead and start watching the trial stuff. We're gonna start with her opening. The prosecutor. I won't play the whole thing because it's 47 minutes, but we'll get like a good chunk of it. I think she does a really good job. Nothing is like super fancy. I mean, she's just, to me, it's the right tone, it's the right pace. I think she probably could have shortened this just a little, but simple visual aids, which I think is smart when you're dealing with juries.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, thank you for being here. Just by way of introduction again, my name is Laura Adams. Along with me is Mr. Jonathan Horst. And also we are going to be assisted from time to time through this trial by a law intern, a law student who's interning at the state attorney's office, and his name is Juan Ramirez. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a case about responsibility and accountability, or I should say, the lack of both on the part of the defendant in this case, George Pino. The evidence is going to show that on September the 4th of 2022, this defendant took his wife, his 17-year-old daughter, and 11 of her teenage friends out on his boat, and he wound up plowing right into a huge channel marker that ironically was placed in Biscayne Bay to keep boaters safe. As a result of his complete abandonment of good judgment and responsibility, 17-year-old Lucy Fernandez, her given name is Luciana Cristina Fernandez, is dead. In the aftermath of causing Lucy's death, this defendant avoided accountability by telling the police a fabrication of how this boating crash occurred. And he maintained that falsehood long after the day of this tragedy. The evidence in this case, ladies and gentlemen, will show you this was not a mere accident or a momentary lapse in judgment. The evidence that Lucy is dead because the defendant failed to do the most basic things that the rules of the water require. Things like maintaining a proper lookout, things like operating your vessel at a safe speed for the conditions, avoiding situations that can cause a collision, or as you may hear from time to time in this case, an allision. Collision technically means two boats striking each other. Allision is a boat striking a stationary object, whatever term you want to use. Don't crash into things. Moreover, you are to travel when you're in a narrow channel on the right-hand side of the channel. We're not in England. We don't drive our cars on the left side, and we don't operate our boats on the left side of the channel. This defendant drove his boat after consuming alcoholic drinks that was full of teenagers who also had been drinking alcohol right into that big steel channel marker in Biscayne Bay in broad daylight, a channel marker that had a day glow green square above it.
We'll see the boat. They'll show it. I think it was just like 23 feet. I mean, it's nothing huge. I was honestly surprised that many people could fit on it. And that's interesting. If he was offered early on a plea of 60 days in jail, I'd be like, yeah, where do I sign? I'll just be shocked if he's not going away for longer.
With the number 15, a channel marker that he had passed by a multitude of times because this was his water playground going to and from a location, which I'll talk to you about in a moment, up to a sandbar. He hit that channel marker, ladies and gentlemen, as he was accelerating through the channel going from speeds of 43 miles an hour to 47 miles per hour. He struck that steel channel marker at just under 50 miles per hour. The witness who will tell you how this crash happened has no bias, no prejudice, and no sympathy. This witness has a perfect memory. And this witness is not swayed by money or privilege or power. That witness is Global Positioning System Data, better known as GPS. The GPS from the defendant's boat is how we know the way that this crash occurred, because the GPS told the truth about what happened. George Pino did not. But before I get into the details of the GPS analysis that was done in this case, I'd like to give you a little bit of an idea of what was happening on September 4th, 2022. The defendant, George Pino, and his wife, Cecilia, had planned a wonderful weekend celebration over the Labor Day weekend. Their younger daughter, who was also named Cecilia Pino, but went by Little Ceci, named after her mom, she was going to turn 18 later that week. And so the family invited a bunch of Little Ceci's friends to come to a location called Ocean Reef Resort to have a weekend of fun, hanging out together, going out on the boat, having a celebration dinner. At around 2:52 that Sunday afternoon, they got into George Pino's boat. 12 kids, the defendant.
Oh, look at him with his eyes closed, trying to. This is before his meltdown. Y'all just have to see that if you haven't. Melissa says, I was surprised with his money. That's what his boat looked like. I agree. I was shocked. And it did seem like that was a lot of people on that boat. Does anybody know? Was that? I haven't heard that it was illegal, so I don't know.
And his wife. Before leaving for Ocean Reef Resort, before leaving the resort, however, that boat
Brooklyn
was stocked with some food and drinks. And the drinks that were stocked on that boat were not just water, were not just sodas. There was alcohol, lots of it stocked on that boat. Now the plan was to head out You want to see okay? The plan was to go from here, which is where the location of Ocean Reef is, where I'm circling this blue dot, and to traverse across this little narrow waterway, and then head up toward this location, which is called the Cutter Bank Channel.
I think Donna and Harvey Adelson's condo overlooked that intercoastal waterway.
Now, for those that might not be boaters, what you'll learn in this case is that a channel is an area of the bay that's dredged out to be deep, because a lot of Biscayne Bay is relatively shallow. And if a large boat that has a keel under it has a draft that's too far, that boat's going to run aground, and that'll cause a danger to everyone. So in areas where the bay is shallow, there will be dredged out locations. And to keep people safe and to let boaters know where they can maneuver their maybe larger vessels, there are what's called channel markers on either side. They're big steel poles, and on one side of the channel, there will be odd numbered markers in day-glow green, and on the other side, there will be even number markers in red. The plan for that day was Mr. Pino went up through this channel, and he and other boats were going to rendezvous at this location here, which is called Billy's Point. It's a popular location where people will come to, dock their boats, tie their boats up to other boats, and people will socialize, have fun, sometimes drink alcohol, have food, listen to music, things of that nature. However, when they get to this area where I have the orange dot, Billy's Point, One of the boats that's kind of part of this group, it's too big to dock there. You can see where the water along here is, or this is like a lighter blue that shows shallower water. So what they do instead is they head up further north here to where I have this red dot. It's slightly deeper water, and that's where the defendant and several other boats basically stay for a few hours, okay?
And what's sad is the defendant, George, their boat was there. And so the girl that was killed, Lucy, her parents were also there on their boat. I mean, can't you just imagine how they're reliving that in their head? Like if we had just had her with us. True Crime Wifey says, I've seen criminal records with boating under the influence. Lots of people get charged with this crime by the Florida Wildlife Commission on the water during holiday weekends. Yeah, for some reason, people just don't look at like how you drink and drive on it with a car. They don't think of it the same on a boat, and they should. Y'all are saying that the district attorney and the assistant district attorney were at odds about pressing charges. Maybe there was connections.
So once they get to that part of the sandbar where the water is a little deeper, the plan was at the end.
Thank you, Ms. Shireen. You said they initially charged him with 2 misdemeanors. He was free for like a year. Then one of the officers came forward and had enough evidence to charge him appropriately.
End of their time there, they were going to return back down to Ocean Reef because the defendant had planned a surprise party for his daughter. And it was going to be a catered dinner from like 9 p.m. to 11.
Okay, I mean, what a spoiled girl. So you take all these friends to Ocean Reef Resort, you rent a house, take them all on your boat, you load the cooler up with alcohol for them, and then you're planning a big surprise dinner for them from 9 to 11. It sounds like more like a wedding.
To give you a little bit.
He's a real estate person. Brooklyn asks, is the money self-made or old money? He's like commercial real estate.
Better of an idea of how the channel works, I have this exhibit also. And this gives you a little bit more of a close view of where the defendant was going to travel. So here we have where Ocean Reef is. Here is the area where he would traverse. And then this area here that I'm circling, that is called Cutter Bank. And there are channel markers, 15, 14, 13A. There's channel marker 12 all along this channel so that boats can safely travel through it, okay? And I have one more that's just a little bit closer so you can really get an idea of where those markers are through here. And all of this evidence you'll see during the trial. This isn't your only chance.
I'm telling you, this prosecutor, she's good. I mean, yes, I know it's like, it seems very maybe elementary, but she gets right up to the jury. She's got all the little visual stuff. Simple. It's nothing too fancy. It's good, I think. Melissa, you said, what about the girl that testified that she switched places with Lucy at the last minute as she was a nervous boater? Lucy wasn't supposed to be in that seat. That's awful.
When the defendant was traveling north to get up to where the sandbar was, he was traveling at a pretty moderate speed, maybe like in the 30s or so. Also, he was navigating the boat in a way that's consistent with seeing other vessels because, again, this is Labor Day weekend and the waters are a little busier during holiday weekends than they are, during the business day. The defendant and the kids and his wife, all on his boat, get up to the area of the sandbar at about 3:23 that Sunday afternoon. Now let's talk a little bit about what was going on at the sandbar. There, Mr. Pino dropped his anchor and the girls that were on his boat would, hang out with each other. There was another boat that was, the owner was friendly with Mr. Pino. He had some boys on his boat. So the girls and the boys were swimming back and forth with the boats, listening to music, having a great time. They would hang on to floating devices, interact with each other, and yeah, they were drinking. The teens on the boat, on Mr. Pino's boat, helped themselves to alcoholic drinks that the Pinos provided. The adults kind of knew what was going on, and the thought was, look, if kids are going to drink, it's better if they're drinking in the company of hope.
Yep, there you go. That's what a lot of parents think. Oh, well, it's better if they're with us. Let me tell y'all, in Nashville and Tennessee, Tater, you probably know what I'm talking about. Several years ago, oh my gosh, I think it was like, maybe it was 2020. And private schools, they graduated, and these parents that owned this big farm right outside of Nashville had a party where they could all drink and blah, blah, blah. And it was safe. They collected keys. Well, guess what happened the next morning after everybody camped out? There was a dead boy in the pond. And no one ever got criminally charged, but I have heard through people I know that it has just now settled civilly. And it was in the millions because it was several wealthy families, but yeah. Big mistakes.
Hopefully responsible adults rather than do something on their own.
I think I heard he did have enough life vests for everybody, my publicist. I'm pretty sure his attorney will say that in opening.
But the teenagers weren't the only ones that had consumed alcohol that afternoon. So did Mr. Pino. This was really one big happy party. Here's a picture of most of the girls that were there that afternoon. Many of these girls knew each other from elementary school. What a great day this would have been. Oh. This girl here, in the white bathing suit with the cute little flowers, that's Lucy. At one point that afternoon,
Just simply holding up photos like on that foam poster board. It's good, right? Marianne, didn't they already sue Pino in a civil trial? Olaf from Mexico. Hello. The other family did, that has the daughter that I think she's paralyzed. And they got 16 million. Their Fernandez family has not sued them, but I would say yet. I bet you they will when this trial's over.
Lucy's mom and dad, who were also at Ocean Reef, had been asked by their daughter, Mom, Dad, come on out to the boat. We're going out with the Pinos. Come meet us out at the sandbar. Now, Lucy's dad, who you'll meet during this trial, he was kind of tired. He had golfed earlier in the day, but he and his wife figured, if your teenage kid is saying that she wants to see you, even when she's with a lot of her friends, let's suck it up. Let's go. We're going to go see our daughter. And so Mr. and Mrs. Fernandez took their own boat out and wound up rendezvousing with where the Pino boat was and a couple of the other boats that were there. What you'll learn is that Mr. Fernandez didn't really want to stay a very long time because he had plans later that day to watch the game between FSU and LSU with his dad, who lived at Ocean Reef. So his plan was to go out there, see his daughter, engage with the people that they all knew, and then try to leave by around 5:30 or so that he could be back in time to clean off the boat, get cleaned up, and then go over to his dad's condo on Ocean Reef. While Mr. Fernandez is there, he too consumes some alcohol. He winds up toward the end of the day getting ready to leave. And as he and his wife are getting ready to leave, they kind of thought about what a great afternoon it had been. They were glad that they'd gone out to see their daughter. At one point, their daughter swims over to the boat and she asks her dad for some sunscreen and a hair tie, to make a ponytail with her hair. She hugged her dad before jumping back off the boat. And that was the last time Andy Fernandez ever got to hug his child. Before leaving, Andy took this picture with his phone. You can see this is the defendant's boat. You see people floating around. You see people on the boat. What could have been more fun than being lucky enough to be out on the waters?
That boat, it does look kind of dumpy and dinky. Look, I'm sure it's still expensive, but I was expecting, I don't know what I was expecting, like one of those big cigarette racing type boats. But isn't that sad? So her parents left on their boat and took this picture.
To have a weekend at Ocean Reef with friends that you've known practically your whole life. What a magical day this could have been.
Thank you, Jenny. That is so kind. You didn't have to do that. Thank you.
Now, they were there at that sandbar for almost 3 hours. And the evidence is going to suggest that perhaps Mr. Pino overstayed the time that he wanted to be there. Why? Because when he starts getting the girls to rendezvous back onto his boat, 12, 17-year-olds plus his wife and him, he leaves the area here. Where they have been, and begins to traverse back down south, where he's going to traverse through Cutter Bank Channel to get back to Ocean Reef. Why? I told you about him having a party planned. This was the invoice for that party. It was to go from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. It was going to be a custom buffet with salads, mini burgers, chicken, all of this kind of stuff. It was an outdoor venue that was going to be catered, and it was supposed to be a great time. But my goodness, yes, 12 teenage girls that are going to need to get showered, get their hair dried, get ready to go out for this event. Now, these girls were staying in a home that the Pinos had rented for that weekend. It wasn't like some gigantic mansion.
It'll come back. It was just not a great feed.
Navigating things like this. What we know from the GPS is that when he was coming back, he was doing a lot more straight through traveling. And so fast that the boat is just traveling on top of the water. He's operating it on the port side, meaning the left side of the channel, not the right. And as he was going...
Thank you all for being here. Thanks, Melissa, True Crime Wifey, Mia, Tennis Girl, everybody that's come in. I appreciate it if you hit like. Thank you so much.
Through that channel, heading back to Ocean Reef. Just as he had his GPS on the way up, his GPS was on the way back. The GPS on him...
It's the feed. It wasn't great.
On the way to... Yes. This is the GPS data that we have from the defendant heading, before he leaves, heading up this way to where Elliott Key is. And then you see these little, like, track mark, these little blue dots. Those are track marks. Those show every time the boat is being changed in direction. This is where he originally gets to at Billy's Point, but it's too shallow for one of his friend's boats to be there. So he heads up further north until they get right here. Then, and he gets there at about 3:47. From there, the GPS is turned off because the boat's anchored. What do you need your GPS for? At 6:18, the GPS is fired back up again. And we know, track mark, he's navigating his...
That GPS data will get you every time. True Crime Wifey says, these details are similar to Paul Murdoch boat wreck that killed Mallory Beach. Wealthy kids partying, drinking, driving boat. Yeah, I completely agree. George Pino is an adult, but he was acting like a kid. I mean, yes, it is, of course, an accident. He didn't mean to do it, but I mean, there's consequences for that, right? I mean, if you're drunk driving home and you hit somebody, yeah, you can manslaughter. I mean, it's the same thing with a boat.
Way through here. And now look at what we see here. Straight lines, track mark, straight line, track mark, straight line. A very different driving pattern to get back than to get up there. So what do we know happened?
It's especially reckless with all these kids, right? Whenever, if I had my son and some of his friends and we took them to dinner, I wouldn't drink because I knew I was driving them. I was responsible for these kids. Would not. Mia Wallace, your shorts are amazing. Y'all need to follow Mia Wallace on YouTube.
Once he starts entering, this would be the channel, and he's hugging the left side of that channel. And what we know is that before he gets to channel marker 15, right, at 6:37 and 28 seconds, he has his last track mark. That's the last time he changed direction. And what did he do? He tried to avoid channel marker 15 right here, but it was too late. Let me back up a bit. So here, we see the defendant's track lines heading up, and here he is coming back on the return track. And we see one track point here and one track point here, which is less than 30 feet away from where that channel marker is.
Okay.
And what we know
I think
is
she
that
kind
when
of
he
goes into this
leaves
a little
this
too much in the opening. So I'm
been a
going to go.
shock to the defendant because the evidence will show that 9 seconds prior to impact, George Pino changed direction just 5 degrees to port, just a little nudge to the left side of that channel. And when he did that, he was on a complete collision course, an absolute collision course with where channel marker 15 is. For 9 seconds, from this moment, when you're out on the water, as you'll learn in this case, you can see that channel marker ahead of you if you're looking. For 9 seconds, he never changes direction. He smashes right into it. And to give you an idea how long that is, that's how long he was on a collision course with that gigantic steel pole.
Yeah, I feel like he was texting or dazed off or something. Hey, here for today. Yeah, DKC says they didn't charge him for alcohol or providing it to kids. Not that I know of, but a lot of times they'll drop the lesser of the things. And I think a lot of the girls' parents, the other girls, have said, yeah, we allowed it.
After the boat hits the channel marker, some girls are ejected from it, some girls jump off the boat, but there are now 14 people in that water. One by one, the girls who are not too badly injured try to seek out and find their friends. The defendant's wife, same. The defendant, though, he just kind of holds on to the front of his boat, which is now upside down, and the anchor of his boat has become the canopy, because the canopy of his boat is now on the bottom of Biscayne Bay. One by one, they're trying to account for all the girls. Where's Ceci? Where's Kati? Where's Nia? Where's Caro? All these girls. And eventually, through all that chaos, there are some that are not conscious. There are some that are borderline conscious. Everybody is accounted for but one. They're looking and looking. Where's Lucy? Where's Lucy? Somebody yells to the defendant, still holding on to his boat. Look under the boat. Maybe she's trapped under there. She was. The injuries she sustained were not great injuries, but she didn't die from those injuries. She died because she drowned. She was underwater, unconscious, and she drowned. When Lucy's body is found, she's brought up onto a Good Samaritan boat. Because this was Labor Day weekend, there was a fair amount of vessel traffic out there. And without too much time going by one, Good Samaritans came and tried to help get all these people out of the water. When Lucy was brought on board, there were people on that little boat who started performing CPR on her. People start calling the police for fire rescue, for help. Now, it's tricky to give your exact location when you're on the water if you don't know how to give your coordinates, because it's not like you can look up and say, oh, I'm at the intersection of 12th Avenue and 14th Street. So sometimes it takes a little bit longer for first responders to get to the scene of a boat crash. Well, when the first responders get there, they know that Lucy is in dire shape. You'll hear that one officer, when he approaches, he's seeing a helicopter from above, which is trying to lower a paramedic onto the boat that Lucy's on. But the problem is the boat Lucy's on isn't very large, and the wash from the propellers is starting to make that boat spin. So he has to nudge his police boat up against the boat Lucy's on, and another officer has to do the same to keep the boat steady enough that it will be safe for the paramedic to come onto the boat. Once the paramedic is on the boat, they load Lucy up onto a backboard, and they transfer her to another boat. And then that boat takes off for this location here, Elliott Key, which is a long, really narrow. Girls really couldn't give him any information. They're not paying attention, because what you'll learn is that on the
Right.
bow
I'm going to kind of fast
of the
forward to
defendant's
the end of
boat
this because I think we've got the.
did the police wind up getting this GPS data? Well, in an effort to appear cooperative with the police, the defendant signs a form giving them consent to go on his boat and take from it the SIMRAD, that's the brand name of the chart plotter devices or the multifunctioning displays that he has. It's not completely unlike CarPlay, if anybody uses their Apple phone with their car, where you can scroll through different maps, charts, things like that. The defendant gives permission for that. And those SIMRAD navigational devices are then brought to a man who is, number one, a former FWC officer. Number two, is currently a lieutenant with the town of Palm Beach Police Department as an internal affairs supervisor. But also number three is a maritime expert who testifies regularly in the field of safe navigation, safe boating requirements, and also in how to download and interpret GPS data.
Yes, Mr. and Mrs. Pino were on the boat, and then all the girls.
His name is Paul Albert, and you will hear from him about how GPS works, how he was able to extract GPS data from the defendant's boat, even after it had been upside down and underwater until they could salvage it and bring it back to shore. He will tell you unequivocally, the defendant's boat took no evasive action to avoid striking that channel marker. There was no other boat in that vicinity. The defendant said that there was another boat, which is clearly disproven. He also told Lieutenant Thompson that he had 2 beers while he was out at that sandbar. Now, it would not be practical for you all as jurors to go out to the scene of this vessel crash and feel for yourself what it's like to go 47 miles an hour through that narrow channel on the wrong side of it. So Lieutenant Thompson and Mr. Albert did the best that they could to try to recreate it for any jurors that might be on this panel, whether you have experience boating or not. What they did was, using buoys and GPS points, they dropped one buoy in the Cutter Bank channel where the second to last track point is, and one right before the last track mark, which is less than 30 feet away from where that channel marker is. They then had Lieutenant Thompson take his police vessel, which, like the defendant's, is 29 feet, has a center console, and has 2 300 horsepower engines. And what he did was he then began coming through the channel, and by the time he got to where that second to last track mark is, he was going 43 miles an hour. He then continues to accelerate his vessel until he's at 47 miles an hour, and at the last second, swerves to avoid hitting the channel marker. To give you an idea of what that's like, we had a veteran crime scene detective with the sheriff's office come out on a Marine Patrol boat and launch a drone that then could film the boat as Lieutenant Thompson piloted it through the channel. In addition, a GoPro camera was affixed to the front of Lieutenant Thompson's boat so that jurors could get an eye view of what you could see if you're looking and when you can see that channel marker up ahead. In addition, a GoPro camera was attached to the actual channel marker so that you could see that same approach as Lieutenant Thompson comes right up to it and avoids hitting it at the last second. Now, lest you think that the police did all of this without concerns for safety, you will learn that during this exercise, there were marked police boats on the north and south end of the channel to make sure no vessels were going to be in that area. Plus, we had the Marine Patrol boat that the detective had launched the drone from. Plus, as Lieutenant Thompson was going through this channel into that channel marker, if the evidence supported that, he wouldn't be charged with manslaughter and vessel homicide. He'd be charged with murder. But the evidence does support a finding that traveling through that narrow channel at the speeds that he was, with as many people on his boat as he had, people who had been consuming alcohol, people who were 17 years old, and not looking where the heck he was going for 9 seconds. People won't even drive blindfolded for 9 seconds. They sure as heck should not be operating a boat with a blind eye. The evidence in this case will show conclusively this was not just an accident. This was a bunch of factors that, when they all come together, form the inescapable conclusion that George Pino was reckless and he was culpably negligent, and as a result, Lucy's gone. And that's why at the end of this trial, I will ask you to return a verdict of guilty.
All right, well done. All right, now the defense doesn't really get to go much because y'all will see what happens to Mr. Pino. And it's a little grainy, this video. It's not me, it's not my computer, it was the feed.
Is the microphone working, Your Honor?
I think it is.
I think we all agree.
Okay, I think y'all were saying in the chat, this guy's like super expensive. Howard something. I think that's him.
That we're here today because there was a tragedy. Lucy died. And it's painful. It's painful for everybody to think about it, hear about it, talk about it. And over the course of the trial, we'll have to relive those moments. And George Pino is going to have to relive those moments. He loved Lucy. He'd known Lucy since she was a little girl. He loved Lucy like a daughter, like his own daughter. The state admits this was not George's intention for this to happen. He did not intend to crash into a marker. He did not intend for anybody to be hurt. His own daughter,
Look at him.
his own wife, his own body was on that boat. He had traveled on that boat safely through that channel many, many times. Many times. And he was celebrating his daughter's 18th birthday with some of the best.
Do you see that attorney right there, on the left, the little gray hair guy? He just rolled his eyes. Hold on. Let me just replay that. Make sure y'all saw it.
And he was celebrating his daughter's 18th birthday with some of the best friends his daughter had since childhood. These were generational friendships. George's parents' generation, George's generation, and then the next generation. George would never think to put any of these girls' lives in jeopardy. And when he was traveling at 47 miles per hour, with everybody seated on that boat, with George at the helm, a perfectly clear day, the seas were calm. A boat like that could have been powered not with just 600 horsepower engines, but 700 horsepower engines, although George didn't put the maximum horsepower engines on that boat. That boat.
Oh, well, good. Okay, he didn't put the maximum horsepower on the boat, so that's good. What is that? Hi, Lisa Cox. It is such a sad case. Hey, green, pink, and blue PB. You said it's the Miami culture shameful. I think it's the culture everywhere. I mean, obviously, Tennessee, we're landlocked, but there's lots of partying that goes on at lakes and people's farms and all that stuff. It's awful.
Can travel at upwards of 50 plus
Or families going to vacations.
miles an hour, fully loaded. There was no weight restriction or personal restriction that George was violating when he had all of his passengers on the boat. There was a life preserver for each and every one of them on board, although the law doesn't require that passengers on a boat wear the life preserver. There was no speed limit in the channel. And there are channels with speed limits. When you come back to port, you might see a sign that says, no wake. Wake, W-A-K-E. Boats have to travel slowly when coming back into port sometimes. There might be a marker that says minimum wake. And there are markers that have speed limits throughout the intracoastal waterway. But Cutter Bank Channel in 2022 had no posted speed limits. We are now in 2026. There are still no posted speed limits at Cutter Bank Channel, even after this tragedy happened. Our legislature has not
Yeah, I mean, driving a boat at 47 miles an hour, what's that equal to driving a car? Like, you know what I mean? Like 100 and something. I mean, that's really, really fast. I mean, when you water ski and the boat going like, why am I thinking 14 miles an hour? That might even be too much.
Objection, argument sustained.
There was none then. There is none now, because under ordinary circumstances, traveling at 47 miles per hour, which George Pino had done many times, is not a violation of the law. It is not unsafe seamanship. Still, George crashed. The state's theory, as you've heard it today, is a bit of a mishmash. On the one hand, they say to you 2 beers, trying to suggest to you this is about alcohol impairment. The state knows better than that.
Objection, argument.
The evidence will show.
The evidence will show. Thank you.
I apologize. Multiple eyewitnesses, at least 8, I expect, will testify at this trial. 8.
Okay, so I know y'all said he's high power, big money. I will say he's not reading his notes and he's making eye contact with the jury. Would you know who hired this guy?
Can everybody hear me okay? Is the microphone working around? So you'll hear testimony.
Sorry.
That included the adults that were multiple eyewitnesses. At least 8, I expect, will testify at this trial. 8.
Where was
And
it?
they say to you 2 beers, trying to suggest to you this is about alcohol impairment. The state knows better than that.
Objection, argument.
The evidence will show.
The evidence will show. Thank you.
I apologize. Multiple eyewitnesses. At least 8, I expect, will testify at this trial. 8. Who observed George Pino at the sandbar just after the collision, the crash, and law enforcement officers themselves who observed George Pino eye to eye, examining him purposely to determine, was George Pino impaired? Each of those witnesses who examined and observed George Pino were satisfied that George Pino was not impaired. That included the adults that were at the sandbar. It included Lucy's dad, who was at the sandbar, himself enjoying the festivities with his daughter, with the Pinos, and with the other families that were there. And the adults that were at the sandbar were also consuming some alcohol. They too operated their motor vessels after consuming some alcohol, including Lucy's dad. Lucy's dad would never have allowed his daughter to ride back with George Pino if Lucy's dad thought that George Pino was impaired. And Lucy's dad saw that George Pino had had a beer and was satisfied that George Pino was not impaired. This was not the first time George Pino had a beer in his life. So you'll hear testimony.
Oh, that makes me so sad that saying that. Like, well, Lucy's dad saw them drinking,
From the adults at the sandbar, including George.
Charged with vessel homicide. I can't remember the exact wording, and manslaughter.
George Pino's wife. George Pino's wife was on that boat. She would not have allowed her husband to operate a boat with her own life, her daughter's life, and the lives of the girls that Mrs. Pino had helped raise. Some of these girls grew up in the Pino home all the time, spending.
That's a low blow, too, to say that you helped raise someone's child. It's terrible. Hey, everybody, welcome. Happy you're here.
Time together. Mrs. Pino will testify. George, her husband, was not impaired. She wouldn't have risked her own life.
Excuse me. I'm sorry,
All right, here come the theatrics. Look at him. Look at everybody. And that, I think, is that his wife getting up in the cream color? Maybe it's somebody else. But I thought his wife came over and hugged him, but that might have been something else. He's like hyperventilating. I don't really see tears, maybe a little bit of wet, but it looks like he's trying to look at everybody. They're like, what? And this attorney in the green dress doesn't know what to do. I mean, that just reminds me of some fake crying I've seen. Oh, look, they asked him to stand and he bent over, like basically passing out. That's the jury walking out. So we're getting to see who's a woman, who's a man. Isn't that wild that they show that? I agree, Little Miss Red Velvet. Hey, Rosie.
I'll be seeing you. Thank you.
Your Honor, I just apologize to counsel. I have no intention of trying to interrupt his opening statement, but the defendant's emotional outburst became unavoidably distracting and wholly improper for a jury to view. Okay, I know it's not counsel's fault.
We're gonna take a few minutes break. Mr. Pino. You can get a hold of yourself and be able to manage your emotions during these proceedings. So whatever you need to do that, it's gonna be necessary. A few minutes now. We'll take 10 minutes. Discuss how that can be accomplished, because we are going to proceed, and Mr. Pino is going to need to be able to control himself. 10 minutes, thank you.
So did y'all see his attorney storm out? Look how pissed he is. I mean, that's like, screws up your whole thing. Watch this.
10 minutes, thank you.
Like he's so mad. So they ended it for the day, that they couldn't finish their opening, and then they went back the next day. But I'm not going to play any more of his opening. I want y'all to see Mr. Fernandez. So this is Lucy's dad. He is the first witness. Look at this courtroom, y'all. It gives me anxiety. I just don't understand this stained glass and all this storage over here with the extra TV cart.
It's a little awkward if you're facing this way, but the microphone's this way, so please keep your voice down first.
Will do. Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning.
Could you please introduce yourself to the members of our jury?
Good morning. My name is Andres Fernandez.
Do you go by a nickname?
Andy,
How old are you?
52.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a lawyer.
What kind of law do you practice?
I'm a banking lawyer. I represent banks in transactional, licensing, and regulatory matters.
Did you practice any kind of law prior to doing banking law?
Yes, I started my career as a public defender in this very building.
How long were you a public defender?
I was a public defender for about 3 years.
Are you married?
Yes, I am.
Who were you married to?
Melissa Fernandez.
How long have you been married?
We've been married for almost 25 years.
Do you have any children?
I do have 2.
Before we get to your kids, where do you live?
I live here in Miami, Florida.
How long have you lived in Miami?
52 years.
Did you go to high school here?
I did.
Where did you go to high
I
school?
went to Christopher Columbus High School.
You said that you had 2 children.
Yes,
Is one of them in the courtroom today?
yes.
And who is that?
Our 17-year-old son, Kevin, is over there.
Did you also have another child?
I had another child.
What was her name?
Her name was Lucy Fernandez.
What was her given name?
Luciana Cristina Fernandez.
What was Lucy's birthday?
August 26, 2005.
As of September the 4th of 2022, how old was Lucy?
Lucy was 17 years old.
Do you know a person by the name of George Pino?
Yes, I do.
Do you see him in this courtroom?
Yes, I do.
Can you please point to him and describe what he's wearing so the record will be clear?
He's there at the end of the table in a dark suit and a white shirt.
I mean, I got to give this man props because I would have been like, the son of a bitch is across from me. I couldn't be this calm. I think Andy is so professional, but together, just shows the love of a true loving father. And yes, they are all dressed nicely. This is like a lot of very wealthy families, I think. And forensic, I'm sorry you're having problems. Maybe reboot your iPhone.
How do you know this defendant?
I've known George's wife, Ceci, all my life, probably since the second grade. And I met George when he started dating his wife, Ceci.
Did you attend his wedding?
Yes, I did.
Did you bring a date to that wedding?
Yes, I did.
And who was your date for Mr. Pino's wedding?
My future wife, Melissa.
Did you know his children?
Yes, I do.
How many children does he have?
He has 2 girls.
Do you know their names?
Yes, I do.
What's the older daughter's name?
Carolina, she goes by Caro.
And what's his younger daughter's name?
Ceci, like the mom, and she goes by little Ceci.
Was your daughter friends with either of Mr. Pino's children?
Lucy was friends with little Ceci.
Did the Pinos help raise Lucy?
No, Melly and I raised Lucy.
Did you ever know Mr. Pino as the camp counselor?
Never knew him as a camp counselor.
I want to take you back to Labor Day weekend of 2022, okay? Before we start talking about the events of that day, okay? And if you need water or something, just let me know.
Maybe a little water.
You do?
Yeah. a little water.
Look at this up here behind him. The judge is like pours the water. And y'all see the microphone? It's like gorilla taped or duct taped, that big microphone. It's just bizarre. The big box.
Thank you. That weekend, were you at a place called the Ocean Reef Club?
Yes, I was.
Could you explain to the jurors, what is Ocean Reef Club?
Ocean Reef Club is a private club, a gated community in North Key Largo, Florida. It's a boating community, it's a golf community, it's a tennis pickleball community. It has a hotel where you can rent rooms. It has condos that you can rent. It also has homes and apartments where people live there, full-time and part-time throughout the year.
Are there any facilities there that allow people to store or dock boats?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
They have, at Ocean Reef, they have several marinas where you can keep your boat in the water at a slip, but they also have a facility that's dry storage where you could store your boat there, and they pick it up, with a forklift, and they put it on a rack.
Were you a member of Ocean Reef Club at that time?
Yes,
Are you still a member of Ocean Reef Club?
yes,
About how much of your life has been spent going to or visiting Ocean Reef Club?
a lot. I would say over 50% of my life has probably been down in Ocean Reef.
Why would that be?
My parents became members there in the early 80s. So my brother and I were raised going there. Probably our best memories as children were at that club. And then in turn, my wife and I, we raised our kids going there often.
I did Google, and in today's terms, Ocean Reef Club, like starting memberships, I think, are $150,000 initiation fee, and then it just goes up.
Can you describe whether there's a sense of community amongst the people that are members of this club?
It is. The community is a family, and it's an extended family for all of us.
As of Labor Day weekend of 2022, was the defendant also a member of the Ocean Reef Club?
Yes, he was.
Now, you mentioned something about being at Ocean Reef that Labor Day, is that right?
Yes.
Could you tell the jurors a little bit about what were your plan for that weekend?
It was Labor Day weekend, and we had made plans to be down there that weekend. My parents were going to be down there. My brother and his family were going to be down there. So our plan was to head down there on Saturday and spend the long weekend, playing golf, relaxing by the pool, watching football. It was the opening weekend of college football, so we just had plans to be with family and friends down there.
And what were the plans for Lucy that weekend?
Lucy was also going to be down there that weekend, but she wasn't going to be with us. She was going to be with the Pinos. The Pinos had invited Lucy to go down with her and spend the weekend with her, partaking in festivities that they were planning and had planned around little Ceci's 18th birthday.
Did you have any problem with Lucy going to this planned, weekend celebration?
Absolutely not.
Okay, I want to now take your attention directly to Sunday, September the 4th of 2022. Can you tell the jurors, what was it you did that morning?
That morning, I woke up and I played golf with some close friends. We played early in the morning. And I remember it was probably halfway through the round. I got a call or a text from Lucy, and basically saying that she missed us, that she hadn't seen us, that she was going to be playing pickleball later in that day, and to please come by and see her.
Did you do that?
Absolutely. When your teenage daughter says that she wants to see you, you drop everything that you're doing. So immediately when I finished my round, I went over to the pickleball courts and I walked over and I saw her and she came over and she gave me a super warm hug. I still remember that hug today. And she told me that their plan was to go out on the boat, that they were going to go to Billy's Point. And she said, please, you and Mom, please go out there, meet us. I haven't seen you guys. I want to see you guys.
When you saw Lucy by the pickleball courts, were there other girls nearby?
Yes, their whole group was there.
Okay. And when you say the whole group, I'm not asking you to list everyone, but do you remember some of the other girls' names that you saw there?
Yes. I remember Gati Puig was there. I remember Coco was there. I remember Cami was there. I remember Claudia Portocarrero was there. I believe even some of the boys were there that were also visiting. It was a big group that was there having fun.
Were a lot of these kids that you knew to be friends of Lucy for a long time?
Yes, many of them I knew for a while.
And even their parents, did you know?
Yes.
So when you finish up your round of golf, was it your number one goal as the day began to get on a boat and go out to Billy's Point?
Absolutely not.
Why?
Because my plan that day was to play golf and to relax, and then we had plans to watch the FSU football game with my dad at his apartment down at Ocean Reef. He was going to have some people over. We're big FSU fans, and we were going to watch the kickoff to their season. That game was at 7:30. So I was always very conscious on the time that afternoon.
Did you in fact take your boat out to Billy's Point or that area?
We did.
Why?
Once again, Lucy asked us to go out and see her and meet her. So I remember after seeing her on the pickleball courts, I went back to where Melly was, which was on our other boat, and I told her that Lucy had asked us to go. And we both reluctantly said, we got to do it. So at that point in time, we started making arrangements we bought some sandwiches and stuff and got ready to head out to meet them where they were.
When you say Melly, just so we're clear, who's that?
That's my wife, Melissa. She goes by Melly.
Tell us a little bit more about the preparations that you have to make to go out onto your boat to head out to Billy's Point. What all do you buy?
I went to the store and I went and got sandwiches because I know we hadn't eaten anything that day. Melly was out, doing exercise. I had played golf. I hadn't eaten, so we went and got some sandwiches. I got ice. I made sure that the little boat had fuel. So, towels. We just, prepared, the boat for, being out for a couple hours.
The sandwiches, did you buy drinks to go with those sandwiches?
No, I had.
It comes back.
I had a couple of seltzers and I had a little bit of rum and club soda for me.
So once you have the boat packed up and ready to head out to Billy's Point, do you actually get out there?
Yes, we got out there.
First, another joint license plate identification. First question for you, Mr. Fernandez. Do you recognize who is depicted in States 1A?
That's Lucy.
Judge, I move States 1A for identification and evidence.
How heartbreaking. That was obviously her senior picture. You know how you have a maid taken the senior summer before senior year. And then she was killed Labor Day weekend.
1A, March 20, States Exhibit 1.
The record I'm showing counsel states 1B for identification. Mr. Fernandez, I'm now showing you states 1B for identification. Do you recognize what is depicted in this exhibit?
Yes.
Can you tell the jurors, does this fairly and accurately depict the area of Billy's Point and also Ocean Reef and the Cutter Bank Channel?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move states 1B for identification and evidence.
1B, March for ID, States Exhibit 2 in evidence.
Brooklyn, are there only 6 jurors? I would think, is it not 12? I don't know the rules.
Your Honor, may the witness have permission to step down?
Yes, sir. Just keep those up.
Yes. Yes, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Fernandez, I have a little wager here. First off, can you point out for the members of the jury, where on this map would we find
Ocean Reef Club?
Right where this little blue dot is, right down here. That's the area where the main marina is of Ocean Reef.
Now, if a person wants to go from that location up to Billy's Point, and just by way of example, can you tell us if Billy's Point is visible on this map?
Billy's Point is visible with this orange sticker right there.
Okay. So what would be the route that you and your wife took to go from Ocean Reef up to where Billy's Point is?
Okay, we came out of the Ocean Reef main marina, which is right here. You can see it by this red marker right there. And we came out through here. We came through Angelfish Creek, which is all this, and then you end up in this Card Sound Bay. And then you come north through this channel, past this red marker, and up to Billy's Point.
Now, there's a series of green dots that are on this map. Can you explain to the members of the jury, what are those green dots?
That is a series of markers. They're red and green that traverse this whole area. It's actually a pretty long channel, and it's referred to, I believe, as Cutter Bank. And it takes you from this bay here, Card Sound, into this other bay, and it's protected by shallow water on both sides.
Over the course of your life,
I mean, how this man, his composure, I'm impressed. Just Shamrock, thank you. Florida only does 6 jurors unless it's a murder one trial. I think that makes sense. Thank you. Quilting girl. When my youngest was 16, one of her friends' moms let them drink. When I refused to let my daughter go back there to spend the night, the mom told me that you need to grow up. I've heard some things like that before. Like, you're so strict. What?
how many times do you think you've gone from Ocean Reef up toward the Billy's Point area?
Many, many times,
How long have you operated boats over the course of your life?
since I was 15 years old.
Okay. Is this like your backyard?
That's basically my backyard. We spent a lot of time
I'll look
boating
it up.
in this area, between this area and Ocean Reef and on the ocean side, so we spent a lot of time up there.
When you are traveling through the Cutter Bank Channel, is there one particular side that you would be on that channel as you go northbound?
Yes, I'd be hugging the right side of the channel, similar to, the rules of the road.
And if you're coming back down, let's say from the Billy's Point area toward Ocean Reef, as you're going through that channel, what side of the channel are you on?
Same thing, you're hugging the right side, rules of the road.
Now, that particular Sunday, when you were going up to the Billy's Point area, did you leave in tandem with the defendant?
No, we had left. We left at some time, but we left on our own. We didn't leave at the same time as them.
Okay. Did you have any problems getting from Ocean Reef up toward the Billy's Point area?
No.
Once you get up there, do you encounter boats with other people that you knew?
Yes,
Can you tell the jurors who is it that you see there?
there was another boat. The Swartzes were out there on their boat. The Pinos were out there on their boat, and then I recall another boat being out there, but I didn't really know who that family was.
Okay. Now, you mentioned the Suarezes. Is this another family that you knew from
Yes.
the Ocean Reef area?
Yes, they were there that weekend as well.
This trial is supposed to be about 2 weeks, so this is the first week. T. Cancella, what was the boat accident the weekend before the case started? It was 8-year-old boy hospitalized. A 22-foot angler vessel struck a channel marker. The father and an 8-year-old boy were ejected, and the boy had brain damage. There's a news clip, and I can show it, but I want to keep this one for now.
Were you all able to stop there at the Billy's Point location to hang out together?
No, we did not stop at Billy's Point.
Can you explain to the jurors why?
At some point, I learned that we were not going to Billy's Point. We were actually going a little bit further north because the Suarez boat needed more water. It had a deeper draft, so the water needed to be a little bit deeper, and the water at Billy's Point is more shallow. So the decision was made before we got there that the anchorage spot was going to be more north. So when we arrived, the Suarez's boat, which they had a bigger boat, was already anchored. So we were somewhere north of Billy's Point.
The red dot that's on this exhibit, does that depict the approximate location that you were
The
at?
general location was up there north.
Oh, one other thing. Are you familiar with Elliott Key?
Yes,
Have you ever been to the Elliott Key Harbor?
yes.
Can you describe for the jurors what's Elliott Key?
It's a harbor here somewhere in the middle, and it's referred to often as a ranger station. There's a dock, there's some facilities there, there's a little bit of greenery there. People go camping there, people do barbecues there. It's like a little marina harbor in the middle.
The yellow dot that I have here on this exhibit, is that the approximate location where the marina is?
Yes.
Or the harbor?
Yes.
And in fact, put your glasses on. Does it
Yeah.
actually say?
It says LED harbor. there, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you, Mr. President. You can keep your seat.
So Long Crime's allowed to stream it, but it has to have a delay and no live chat. Andrew, wonder if Harvey stopped by after visiting Donna Sue, extremely close by. Homestead Prison. Yeah, did Charlie go to the Ocean Reef Club, Andrew?
Do you remember the approximate time of the day that you get to initially Billy's Point and then that location a little further north where the deeper water was?
It was close to 4 o'clock. It was somewhere around that time.
And did you feel like you had some kind of time limit on how long you could be there?
Yes.
Why?
Because as I mentioned, we had plans to watch the FSU game with my dad, and that game was starting at 7:30. So I wanted to make sure that I made it back to the marina with enough time that I could wash the boat, organize stuff. My wife and I could get showered and ready and be at my dad's apartment by kickoff. I didn't want to miss the kickoff. And I had realized that, we were a little bit further away than we normally are. And I knew it was going to take, me at least 45 minutes to an hour to get back.
Can you tell the members of the jury what took place once you get there at the northern part of where the, north of Billy's Point? I'll just call it this sandbar rendezvous location.
Okay. When we got there, I remember, the Suarez's boat was there already and they were anchored. And we were pulling up, and the decision was made instead of us, because we were on the boat Melly and I won was on an 18-foot boat. Instead of throwing the anchor, they just offered for us to throw a line to them, and we were kind of like tethered to their boat. The conditions were perfect. There was no wind. So we were kind of just tied up behind their boat.
Okay. And in relation to the Suarez boat, are you like in front of it or are you behind it?
Behind it. We're behind it. We're tethered and we're up back behind it.
Okay. And were you also tethered to the Pino's boat?
No, I was not.
Where was their boat in relation to where you and the Suarez boat were?
The Pino's boat was off to my right, to the east and back a little bit, but I would say, a good 30, 40 yards away.
And what kind of activities were taking place while you and these other, well, first off, were there kids there too?
Yes. Yes.
And parents?
Kids and parents were both there.
How were you all speaking with each other?
I mean, it was a beautiful afternoon. People were floating in the water. Everybody was having a nice time. The weather was great. The music was on. It was really a wholesome event.
Now you say wholesome.
Yeah.
Was there some alcohol involved?
Yes, there was.
Talk to us about that.
The girls were drinking, the boys were drinking, the adults had drinks. It was a situation where everybody was having drinks.
Did you have any concerns that the defendant, Mr. Pino, was too drunk to operate a boat?
No.
Did you yourself have some alcohol?
I made myself a drink when I got out there into my Yeti. Yes.
What's a Yeti?
A Yeti is a little cup that acts like a cooler, and you can put ice in there, and the drink and the ice will last for a while.
What was the drink of the day for you?
It was rum with club soda.
Okay. And you said that there was music. What was the music for you?
The music for me, I believe my default is reggae or something beachy, so I'm sure I had that going on in my boat.
At some point, does your daughter come over to where you are at your boat?
Yes.
And what did she feel about your music?
As typical, Lucy told me to turn down my radio, that there was too much music playing, and she probably thought that the music I was playing was nerdy.
Okay. Did you turn the music down?
Whatever Lucy said, I did. So Lucy said, turn it down. I turned down the music.
Did Lucy ask for anything while she was there on the boat?
She did. I think I was on the boat on the time by myself, and I think I was putting on some sunscreen, and she got up on the boat and she said, Bobby, can I have some sunscreen? I said, of course. And she put on sunscreen, and she was also asking for a rubber band, as they say, una liga, to be able to put her hair in Spanish. Liga.
L-I-G-A?
L-I-G-A.
Okay.
A rubber band for her hair, and Melly had one on there, so she took it and put her hair up in a bun.
Does there come a time when you leave that area north of Billy's Point to head back so you'll be able to watch the football game?
Yes.
Do you remember the exact time that it was that you left?
I mean, it was sometime, between 5:30 and 5:45. I was very set on leaving on that time because I knew it was going to take me a while to get back.
Now, as you're getting ready to leave, does the Pino's boat with the people that were on that boat, do they leave at the same time?
No, I left first.
Okay. Before you left, did you take any photographs?
Yes, at some point in time, I don't know exactly when, but I did take a photograph of the afternoon.
Showing council states 1E for identification. Mr. Fernandez, do you recognize this photograph that's listed as states 1E?
Yes.
Is this a photograph that you took of the Pino's boat and the people that were on it that afternoon?
Yes.
I move states 1E for identification and evidence.
Okay.
1E, March 14th, States Exhibit 3 in evidence.
Where are you when you take this photograph?
I am standing somewhere on the boat that I was on. So I took it from my boat towards their boat.
Are you able to tell in this photograph if your daughter is in the picture?
Yes,
Where is she?
she's down here floating on the water.
Right here where my finger
Yep,
is?
right there where your finger is.
So when I read the definition, manslaughter, I mean, there's 4 primary categories: voluntary, involuntary, vehicular, and constructive manslaughter. Involuntary manslaughter, also known as criminally negligent homicide. Involuntary manslaughter happens when an unintended death results from reckless or careless actions. The perpetrator did not intend to cause harm, but their behavior displayed a severe lack of caution or care. Drunk or not, which they can't prove he was drunk, whether he was or wasn't, but driving that fast on the wrong side and hits the channel marker.
Before leaving that area, did you and your wife say goodbye to your daughter?
We did.
Did you say goodbye to your daughter?
Yes, we did.
I'm going to ask you about that in a minute, but when Lucy came up on your boat and asked for the rubber band and the sunscreen, what did she do before leaving?
She gave me a hug. And I remember it clearly because that's the last time I held her alive.
I want to now ask you about that photograph that you took. At the time you took that photograph, what was your state of mind?
Peace. Yeah, I was observing a really nice moment, a really beautiful afternoon. And that's why I took a picture of it, because it was really a beautiful moment.
Can you tell the jurors, how do you and your wife say goodbye to Lucy?
As we typically do, it was very easy for us to leave because we were not anchored. We were just tethered to the other boat. So we just let go of the line. We said bye, and we pulled out, and we pulled close to Lucy, and we were very obnoxious. And we started screaming to Lucy, "Bye, Lucy, we love you," this and that. And Lucy just looked at us and was like, typical. But that's how we said bye to her that day.
That's so cute. They were trying to embarrass her. My parents used to do that to me. They would always honk the horn. Believe it or not, I was a very, very, very shy child. Not kidding.
Do you make it back to the Ocean Reef Marina?
Yes, we do.
What do you do when you get back to the marina?
We get back, I start cleaning the boat, organizing some stuff, and I eventually move back onto the other boat to start taking a shower and getting ready to make it to my dad's apartment by the 7:30 kickoff of the game.
Did you ever make it to your dad's?
No, we did not.
Why not?
At some point, right before we started to take a shower, we hadn't taken a shower, but we were about to take a shower. We learned that the Pinos got into an accident and the boat was capsized.
What do you do when you get that information?
My wife and I immediately, we jump back onto the little boat and we go to retrace our steps to try and find what's going on and try and find Lucy.
For the record, I'm showing counsel states 1D identification. Mr. Fernandez, I'm going to show you an exhibit. It's marked as states 1D for identification. Do you recognize the location depicted in this exhibit?
Yes.
What is it?
This is I guess a blow up of Cutter Bank.
Is it an accurate depiction from your experience of traversing Cutter Bank?
Yes.
I would move states 1D for identification and evidence.
1D, marked for ID, states Exhibit 4 in evidence.
Mr. Fernandez,
I know y'all are going to come at me, give it up on the courtroom, but what it reminds me of when you're like, "Yeah, Mom, I cleaned my room." And then she opens your closet and just all your crap is thrown in there. Oh my God, do y'all look? The far left, that is a pair of high heels, I think. How do I zoom on this? Damn it. I want it zoomed. That is high heels right in there. It's like it's cubby holes for the judge.
where would Ocean Reef be in relation to this blow up?
Down here. Yeah. On the bottom. Yeah.
No, Mia, I don't know about that one.
Yes, yes.
Do you retrace the steps that you explained to the jurors earlier in terms of how you went back out to try to figure out what had happened?
Absolutely, since we didn't know what happened and we didn't know where they were, we basically, we're just tracing our steps the same way we came back. We were going to go back out to see if we could find them.
Now, do you find any boats before even getting to the Cutter Bank channel?
Yes.
Can you point approximately where you would have been when
Yeah.
you first encountered all these boats?
I mean, we came out, I would say Angelfish Creek is down here, which is how I came out the first way. We came out through Angelfish Creek in the middle, and the moment we got into this bay, we saw the chaos.
And that would be Card Sound Bay?
Yes.
So imagine that, y'all. They've gone back to Ocean Reef. Sounds like they had a bigger boat, like maybe a sailboat or a catamaran type, maybe yacht. I don't know. And they were on their bigger boat getting ready to take showers. They get a call, there's been a wreck. So then they come around to go and look for the boat. And they see, I'm sure, all the emergency response and just chaos. And they're thinking, where is our daughter?
Can you describe what you see once you get on the other side of Angelfish Creek and you're coming up Card Sound Bay?
Right. As I said, the minute we go through Angelfish Creek and we get into the open bay, right away you could see what appears to be chaos. You see police boats, you see police lights, you just see basically the scene of something serious and bad that had happened.
Did you approach this chaotic scene?
We went straight up to it. And we later learned that the boat that was there obviously wasn't the Pino boat. It was the boat that was the boat of one of the first responders. And they had put, all the girls and as many people as they could from the boat onto that boat. And we got up to it as close as we could. And Melly and I were just screaming, "Where's Lucy? Where's Lucy?"
Can you imagine these parents pull up on the boat screaming, "Where's Lucy? Where's Lucy?" And they're probably looking at all these girls. And you know how it is, like they're all in swimsuits and sunglasses or whatever. Or I guess they weren't sunglasses at that point, but you're trying to find your daughter. Ugh.
And we were just looking all over the place and we couldn't see her. We couldn't see her. And we were just screaming, "Where's Lucy?" Nobody was responding to us. As we got closer, we saw Kathy Puig on the back of the swim platform, and she was in really bad shape. And at that point in time,
That's the other girl that was injured. I think it's paralysis. Someone can correct me. Thank you, Nikki. The little boat was 18 foot. Is that Andy Fernandez?
Melly and I knew that.
Oh, come on.
Are there other girls that were in that vicinity?
Yes.
Did you ultimately get any kind of clue of where you might go to look to find your daughter?
At some point, while we're screaming, someone said, I don't know, but we learned that Lucy had left on the police boat. That's the only information we got. Lucy left on the police boat, find the police boat, Lucy left on the police boat.
Did you know anything about a helicopter?
This is the father of the victim that passed away, Lucy. She was 17.
Ride or anything like that at that point?
At that point, no.
Does there come a time when you do get information about what hospital you might be able to find your child?
Yes.
Where?
At some point, when we were already on our way back from Ocean Reef to Miami, we learned that some of the girls had been taken via helicopter and maybe even land, because there's a lot of information going on, to Jackson South.
Did you go there?
We were on our way there. We had.
Yeah, so the boat overturned. So George Pino's driving his boat. All the girls are on there. They're all dancing, drinking. I mean, one girl testifies that she had 10 of those seltzers, like High Noons or White Claws or whatever. 10, y'all, 10. And, these girls were like 110 pounds. So the boat was flying at 47 miles an hour. It hits one of those channel markers. They're made of steel. Boats are made of fiberglass. So basically, it was kind of like a launching ramp, if you will. The boat hits it, still going, because he doesn't have a kill switch on. And it basically splits all that boat. It's fiberglass. Some of the girls are ejected, some jumped, but then because the boat rams up on that channel marker, it essentially flips over. So it's upside down, and Lucy was stuck under the boat.
Spoken with family members and friends who were on their way there, and that's where we were going.
Was Lucy at Jackson South?
No, she was not.
So do you then have to
Yeah.
caravan to another
Well,
hospital?
at that point, our nightmare escalates because we have no idea where Lucy is. We can't find her. We don't know where she went. We don't know if she was taken. And it was a traumatic and nightmare experience that was playing out in front of us. We at some point get information that there may have been girls or a girl taken to another hospital. And we were told to go check Kendall Regional. So we headed that way.
When you get to Kendall Regional Hospital,
So they're trying to find their daughter. They don't even know what hospital she's in.
ultimately, do you get
The 17-year-old daughter who died, Lucy.
to see your daughter there?
Ultimately.
Can you tell us what the process was once you get to Kendall Hospital to be able to see your daughter? Pardon me?
Can you believe that? She just asked, when you get to the hospital, were you able to see your daughter? And the defense said, objection, relevance. I don't know how he didn't stand up and punch him in the face.
We get there, and as you can imagine, when Lucy arrives, she has no ID, she has no nothing, so nobody knows who she is. So we walk into Kendall Regional and we go up to the reception desk and we've received information that our daughter, who was involved in a boating accident, may have been brought here. And we had a picture of Lucy on our phone and we showed it to the receptionist. And the receptionist comes back and says, yes, somebody was brought here, but we cannot ID her from that picture because she's in bad shape. And at that point, Melly and I knew the inevitable. But we said, okay, she has a birthmark on the side of her hip, and she also has a necklace with her initials, LCF, Luciana Cristina Fernandez, and her date of birth. And we told that to the receptionist. The receptionist went and got on the phone, and Melly and I walked away. She called us back a few minutes later, and she goes, your daughter's here.
Are you able to go and see her?
We did.
Can you describe what you saw when you entered the room where she was?
Horrific. A parent's worst nightmare. We walk in and she's hooked up to machines. She's got tubes coming out of every hole. And when we walk in, a nurse is performing some sort of emergency CPR on her to just try and keep her faint heartbeat alive. We have no doubt that she was holding on for Melly and I to get there.
Does there come a time over the course of that, well, do you remember approximately what time it was when you finally get to see your daughter?
I have no idea.
Nighttime though?
Yes, it was definitely nighttime.
Does your daughter pass away the next morning?
She passes the next morning at 6:30 a.m.
Well, I'm glad they could at least be with her, unlike the Markells with Dan. Here for today, who got Lucy out from under the boat? Well, eventually George did, but George, while all the girls were screaming in the water, he was hanging on for his life, basically, to the boat. And then another man who comes over in the boat is like, swim under and see if she's trapped under there. And so then he brings Lucy out. But at that point, she had been under there a long time. Correct, Melissa. Yeah.
Show counsel is read into Martha States and for identification.
Standing objection.
Mr. Fernandez, I'm going to ask if you recognize.
Look, I think that's her brother, and they're showing, if you're watching, he's crying. What a good-looking kid. I think that's the Fernandez son.
It's 1M and 1N for identification, and tell me if these are pictures of your daughter at Kendall Regional Hospital.
That is what we saw when we arrived.
I move states 1N and 1M for identification and evidence.
1M marked for ID, states exhibit 5. 1N marked for ID, states exhibit 6.
Dreamscape says this testimony is so sad. I'm not sure it belongs in the middle. It's very emotive. Probably belongs in the punishment phase. I think she's just setting the stage, like she's going in for the punch really fast. And then I have a feeling like a lot of forensics are going to come in and they're going to show that GPS and all that stuff.
Mr. Fernandez, calling your attention specifically to states number 6,
Thanks,
which
Nikki.
is now in evidence. Toward the bottom of her head. What is that?
piece of fiberglass.
Were you able to touch your daughter's head?
We went and we were there, and the first thing we tried to do was take that off, and they immediately said, "Don't touch her. It's evidence." And at that point in time, Melly and I looked at each other. We're like, "Our daughter's a piece of evidence."
Mm. Oh my gosh. Look at him like acting. This is ridiculous. George all acting like he's upset, but he won't even look at that father in the eye.
Judge, reserve a motion.
Do you want it?
Huh?
Do you need a moment?
No.
Why is he clenching his fists, George Pino?
Lastly, Mr. Fernandez, I'm going to show you an exhibit. Obviously, it's on S identification.
Same objection, Your Honor.
Is this a picture of Lucy after she had died?
Yes.
At this time, I move states 1S for identification and evidence.
Over objection.
1S marked for ID, State's Exhibit 7 in evidence.
I just cannot believe the way he's acting. Oh my God, they're showing. Oh, I didn't know that they showed. So she had fiberglass stuck on her face and they wouldn't let them take it. They said it was evidence.
No, thank you, Judge.
I mean, this is the most raw testimony I've ever seen, I think.
Fernandez, as good a morning as possible, sir. We're both lawyers, and you understand that I will ask you some questions.
Understood.
Sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Well, at least he said that. The defense attorney said, "You understand I'm an attorney. I've got to ask you some questions. I'm sorry for your loss."
Few questions. Lucy spent a lot of time during her childhood with Mr. Pino's daughter,
Yes, they were friends.
and spent some time in Mr. Pino's home.
Yes,
The family spent time together at Ocean Reef.
yes,
I think you described Ocean Reef almost like an extended family.
yes,
And so if I say that it was like Lucy was part of the Pino family, would that be a fair sort of way of expressing the kind of relationship that the families had?
right. But she was raised by Melly and I.
No doubt. But you also participated in events with Mr. Pino's daughter,
Yes,
and you cared for them like, as if they were your own daughters, you would care for them the same way, right?
yes, yes,
Families cared about each other.
yes,
And on that weekend, the Pinos had organized a get-together for all the girls and some boys too, right?
yes,
And I think you described that day you started out playing golf and then you went to the pickleball event.
yes.
right? And was it Mr. Pino who organized that pickleball event for the,
I'm assuming he organized everything.
and so he was, had he organized other things for the kids over the years? Events, things for people to go to?
I'm sure, yes,
And you attended many of them?
yes,
Okay, so then that day you travel over to Billy's Point and then go further north. Let's call it Elliott Key. Is that a simple way?
yes,
Fair enough. And was it typical? Was this the kind of gathering that you all had done in the past
yes,
with the Pinos even?
yes,
Sometimes without the Pinos?
yes,
And the various families, depending on who might be at Ocean Reef that weekend, would, I use the word caravan or however you want to describe it.
yes, it was a very popular spot where many people would go.
And was this weekend and this Sunday typical of the kind of activities and celebrations, even if it's not a birthday, but the kind of mood that would share with the families?
Yes,
And you told the jury that that would include the adults consuming some alcohol,
moderation, yes,
and that was something that had been done in the past?
yes,
And the parents, at least you and the Pinos, would allow or not object to the kids, some of the teenagers consuming some alcohol?
Yes,
And on that day, you were going to travel back by boat from Elliott Key back to Ocean Reef, which you did.
yes,
And I think you told the jury you had had a drink
yes,
and you felt still that you could operate the motor vessel without being impaired. Right?
yes,
And you observed Mr. Pino that day
yes,
and you felt comfortable that he was not impaired.
yes.
And I just have one other question area. Mr. Pino had seen Lucy for much of her life, knew her quite well, her face, right?
Yes,
He would, under most circumstances, he would recognize Lucy right away when he sees her, right?
yes.
Did you sense there was love between Mr. Pino and your daughter?
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. I mean, I know that he's known Lucy forever, how he felt about Lucy. I mean,
Yeah, why would he ask that? Did you sense there was love between Lucy and Mr. Pino? I mean,
I can't speak.
But the families had.
There was a friend. There was a friendship. There was a friendship.
I'm sorry that we had to have this experience together.
I'm sure you are.
One moment. Just one formality. Here's a photograph I'd like to show you.
uh-oh.
Let me do it this way. There are two. The first one would be the bigger one. That one, please. Forgive me, Mr. Fernandez. I have one more thing. So this would be Defense Exhibit A1, marked for identification. And if I may approach the witness. Have you seen that photograph before?
Yes, I saw it one other time.
And does that photograph depict the area that we've been discussing today, including Mr. Suarez's boat and your boat?
Yes,
Offer Defense Exhibit A1 into evidence, Your Honor.
Any objection? No, without objection.
A1 marked for ID. Can I have it? Defense Exhibit A.
And I have one copy that I can show the jury while you're holding that one.
Oh, excuse me.
And so, let me stand over here. That's okay. There's a boat in the photograph with a black bimini top.
yes.
That would be your boat.
That's the boat we were on, correct?
Is that called the Tidewater?
Tidewater, yes.
And if you look, there appear to be two people in the boat. Would that be yourself and your wife?
Yes,
And then there were some folks swimming in the water in the foreground here.
yes,
And is that Suarez's boat to the right side of the photograph with some people swimming in the back?
correct. You can't see, but there's a line that goes from his boat to my boat, and I'm tied up like that.
And the word line in boating is a rope.
Right, right.
So your boat is effectively tied to the Suarez boat so that the Suarez's boat anchor is serving effectively as an anchor for your boat.
Correct.
Do you know at what time this photograph was taken?
No, I do not.
Have you ever seen, has anyone ever shown you any metadata regarding that photograph?
No.
Objection.
I'd like to show you something that's not yet in evidence to see if you recognize it and just read it to yourself.
Wonder what the relevance is in showing this picture of other boats. I mean, wonder where he's going to bring that in.
I've shared it with the state. And can I ask you if that perhaps refreshes your recollection as to what time that photograph was taken?
Is that marked for identification?
It was marked
Yes,
as-
Your
What number was it marked as?
A2.
Defense Exhibit A2 for identification. And without reading from it, because it's not yet in evidence, does that refresh your recollection of what time the photograph was taken?
I can only assume what it says here. I didn't take this photograph.
Okay. So I'll ask you, without reading from the document, is it possible that you were still tied to the Suarez boat as late as 5:41 p.m. on September 4th?
Like I said, I didn't take that photo, so I can only go by what that number says.
I'd be like, hey, guess what, dipshit? I'm not on trial here. He's like trying, because he said he left by 5:45 or whatever to get back for the Florida State game. but I guess he's trying to prove it was a different time, like it matters.
Yes.
Okay. You told us that you thought you were departing Elliott Key somewhere between 5:30 and 5:45.
Correct.
And is it possible you departed even a few minutes later than 5:45?
It could be possible. I mean, from this picture, it looks like I'm actually getting ready to get up onto my boat to leave. And like I said to the jury before, that from the process of getting on the boat and leaving was literally just untying and going. So likely it was very close to that time.
Very good.
Boom.
Mr. Hernandez, thank you. Sorry again.
Thank you.
We would offer it if the state has no objection, otherwise we can tie it up later.
There's no foundation, Judge. Two exhibits.
Yeah, I gave you mine.
This is the exhibit. And this is the exhibit.
I'll have these. And the other one.
I like this prosecutor. She's very detailed.
Mr. Fernandez, I have here for you Defense Exhibit A, which is in evidence.
Mhm.
I'm going to give you this bright pink pen and ask if you can circle on it where you are on this.
Right on the picture?
On the picture, yeah.
That's me down there.
Okay, well, that's ridiculous
Significant risk that the jury.
that was even coming up. Sorry. That is ridiculous. What are y'all saying? Yeah, Pino has settled 16 million for the, how do you say that? Puig case? I didn't take Spanish, but y'all know I'm terrible at pronouncing stuff. I agree. Someone just said it. I think, yes, Melissa, you think that they'll file a wrongful civil case against Pino when this is over? I agree as well. I agree. Trying to get to, this is one of the girls that was on the boat as well. And I think her testimony is very truthful.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Could you please tell the jurors your name?
Camila Alvarez.
Do you go by a nickname?
Yes, Cammy.
How old are you?
I'm 21 years old.
Do you go to school?
Yes,
Where do you go to school?
Florida State University.
What year are you in?
Going into my senior year.
Could you tell the jurors what is it that you're studying?
Studying public relations.
And what's your plans post-college?
Hopefully go to law school. I'm studying for the LSAT this summer.
What do your parents do?
They're both lawyers.
Thank you. Could you tell us, what are you doing this summer?
Yeah, I'm studying for the LSAT pretty much. That's the gist of it.
I think we've all been there. So yeah, okay. Let's talk a little bit about where did you grow up?
I grew up here, specifically Coral Gables. I live there.
What high school did you attend?
Our Lady of Lourdes Academy.
When did you graduate high school?
2023.
Growing up, were you friends with a girl by the name of Ceci Pino?
Yes.
Did you ever meet her parents?
Yes.
What are her parents' names?
Ceci Pino, George Pino. Ceci.
Do you see George Pino in court today?
Yes.
Could you please point to and describe what he's wearing?
He's wearing a blue tie, suit.
Stipulate.
So identify.
How did you distinguish between Mrs. Pino and her daughter?
I say Ceci Mama and Ceci Hija, so Ceci mother and Ceci daughter.
I want to read you a list of names of girls and ask if you are either friends or acquaintances with them. Lucy Fernandez.
Yes. Would you like me to specify whether I was friends or acquaintances with her, or just simply yes or no?
What was your relationship with Lucy Fernandez like?
We're friends.
I'm going to show you an exhibit that's in evidence. It states number one. Is this a picture of Lucy when she was alive?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you guys go to school together?
Yes.
Were you close friends?
I would say so, yes.
What about a girl by the name of Katerina or Kati Puig? Were they friends?
Yes.
What about Isabella Mia Rodriguez?
Yes.
What about Natalia Reed or Nati?
Yes.
Coco Aguilar?
Yes.
Andrea Knopfler? Yeah. Sarah Gutierrez.
Yes, sorry.
That's okay. Paola Pau Garcia.
Yes,
Claudia Portocarrero.
yes,
Carolina Monterrey.
yes,
And Ceci Iha.
yes,
Little Ceci.
yes.
I want to show you an exhibit. It states Exhibit 1O, identification. Are these the names of the girls that I just read out in addition to a couple of other people?
Yes.
Who are the other people that we didn't just name that were your friends from school? What happened?
Cecilia Pino, Dole, and George Pino.
Okay. On September 4th of 2022, did you go on a boat owned by George Pino with the people listed on this exhibit?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, I move states 1O for identification and evidence.
1O Mark Troy D, State's Exhibit 8, in evidence.
So let's talk about the weekend that you went on that boat trip with all these people that were on that list that I just showed to you. Do you remember what grade you were in school?
Yes, I was a senior in high school.
Okay. Did you get invited to a birthday party that weekend?
Yes,
Okay. Whose birthday was it?
it was Ceci's daughter.
What was the
So the girl testifying was on the boat that day, friends with all these girls.
purpose of the party?
It was just kind of to celebrate her birthday.
Where was it? Where did the party take place?
We would be in Ocean Reef.
Have you ever been
So this girl that's testifying later states they asked her how many drinks she had, and she said 10.
to Ocean Reef before the time that you went for Little Ceci's party?
I'd been there for the day, never overnight.
Okay. Could you tell the jurors, what was your understanding of what was going to happen over that weekend?
Pretty much that we were gonna drive to Ocean Reef that Saturday morning, spend the day there, spend the night in the house that they had at Ocean Reef. Following morning, we'd have morning mass, and then we'd go to the sandbar for the day. And I don't remember really the plans after that.
Okay. So on the afternoon of Sunday, September the 4th of 2022, is that when you went on the boat to go to the sandbar?
Correct.
Who operated that boat?
George Pino.
Did anybody else at any time steer or operate that boat?
No.
Was Mrs. Pino also there?
Yes.
So there were coolers stocked on the boat with drinks, and they found lots of cans and everything when the boat wrecked.
Were any food or drinks provided on their boat?
Yes.
What do you remember?
I just vaguely remember Ceci's mother offering food, and that's pretty much it. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Were there also drinks that were brought by the Pinos?
Yes.
Can you tell the jury what kind of drinks were provided?
All I remember is water and kind of mixed drinks, like maybe seltzers, that sort of thing.
When you say seltzers, what do you mean?
Do like Truly, or also they had the hard lemonade.
Do those beverages contain any alcohol?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you wind up going to the sandbar that afternoon?
Yes.
Can you tell the jurors what kinds of things were going on at the sandbar?
Just kind of like nothing out of the ordinary, like people breaking off into groups, kind of conversation, like people just switching over, mostly like conversation, hanging out, I'd say.
Okay. Were people drinking alcoholic drinks?
Yes.
Were you?
Yes.
Tell the jury about what you had to drink that afternoon.
I had those hard lemonades. That's what I remember. I don't remember if I had any other specified drinks, but I definitely remember drinking hard lemonade.
Who were you drinking with?
From what I remember, Caterina Puig and Paola Garcia.
Okay. Is there an expression you use called 1 for 1?
Yes.
Can you tell the jurors, what does 1 for 1 mean?
So basically 1 for 1, I guess, means that when you have a drink, you have a partner per se, and you guys go 1 for 1. So let's say I'm on my first drink and my partner's on their first drink as well. When you finish, both of you finish number 1, you go to number 2, and you don't go to the second one until that other partner is done with the first one. So you kind of match as you go. Was that clear enough?
I think so. How many of these 1 for 1 drinks do you think you had that afternoon?
I remember having 10.
Did the Pinos ever tell you, hey, you're not supposed to be drinking alcohol?
No.
By the time you leave the sandbar, how are you feeling?
I was feeling, impaired, I would say.
Had you ever consumed alcohol before?
Yes.
Does there come a time when everybody that was that went out on that boat all gathers back onto that boat.
Yes.
To get back to Ocean Reef.
Yes,
Okay. All the same people that went up with you are the same people who came back with you?
correct.
Now, as you get up onto the boat, at some point, was a video taken of you and some of the other girls singing and dancing?
Yes,
Have you seen that video?
Yes,
I've
yes.
shown that to you before?
correct. Yes, ma'am.
And do you remember that video even as you're here today in 2026?
Yes.
I know that you don't have your initials on this, but on this CD or DVD, there is a video that I believe I showed you recently, yes?
Yes.
Judge, at this time, I'm going to move states 1R for identification subject to linking it up.
No objection, subject to linking it up.
Being linked, admitted.
1R marked for ID, States Exhibit 9 in evidence.
Your Honor, may I have permission to publish? Thank you.
Andrew, is everybody bilingual in Miami, Fort Lauderdale? I wish I could speak another language. I mean, we don't know how long it was over the 10 drinks. I mean, was that over the day? I know y'all are like stunned by that. But me, like going to a Southeastern college, that's just not surprising. And I mean, that's sad, but that's not surprising. I mean, it'd be surprising in 2 hours, but I think if it was over the course of like 5 hours, I don't know.
Your Honor, may the witness have permission to sit here just so she's able to see the video?
Sure, just keep your voice up, please.
Hey, years ago, like maybe it was like 6 or 7 years ago, there were girls at the University of Tennessee that they didn't want to drink because of the calories. So they would soak tampons in vodka and put them, in that way they wouldn't get the calories, but they would absorb the alcohol. But yeah, they would get very sick of alcohol with alcohol poisoning. That's full forensic. Wow, little Miss Red Velvet speaks Spanish. I've never seen this where they take the witness out of the witness stand too and let them sit and watch the TV. It's true. Sun, the heat. And Little Miss Red Velvet, you're asking if there are laws. Oh, yeah. And at the holidays, I know Miss True Crime Wifey said they're all over down there. But they're all over on the lakes here in Tennessee. So they're showing the girls dancing on the boat. Okay. So Miss Pino was taking this video and she was texting it to all the moms when the boat crash happened. But look, they've all got like Yetis in their hands.
The video that was shot of you and the girls that afternoon.
Yes.
Is Lucy in that video?
Yes.
Is Kati in that video? Is little Ceci in that video?
And you have to keep your voice up.
I'm so sorry, Judge.
Sorry. Yes.
Thank you. You can take your seat.
Andrew, you did a wine enema, never again so sick. Ugh. Yeah, supposedly the frat guys would even do it, you know what I'm saying? I still can't get over this courtroom. It's like a bad 1970s TV show. Yeah. And look, no hate. I'm not saying anything bad about Catholics. A lot of my best friends are Catholics. But I will even say, like, my Catholic friends, they party hard. And they get together and family gatherings or lots of alcohol. I do think this is a lot of this culture. I hope nobody comes at me for all that.
Also, on that particular day,
Wow.
was a photograph taken of you with most of the other girls,
Yes,
showing council states on F for identification. Zelda, do you recognize this photograph?
yes,
Is that a photograph taken of almost all of the girls that were at that party at the sandbar?
yes, ma'am.
Which states one F for identification and evidence?
Okay.
1F, marked for ID, stay 6'7".
Yes, John Smith. They're all over the lakes. And yeah, I mean, 10 White Claws or whatever she had, those Mike cards, one of those is equivalent to a beer. I mean, you would feel like crap the next day, but animal. Yeah, watch alcohol. I think I'm more nervous on the water, definitely, than I am in a car, which is probably silly. But when my son used to go with friends to the lake, oh my God, I was a nervous wreck.
Ms. Alvarez, I want to ask if you will help me fill out on this photograph the names of the various.
You said White Claw has more alcohol than beer? Okay. Well, I don't know. I need to know the time span she drank it. I'm just not shocked. I mean, stuff's like crazy these days,
Girls
y'all.
who are depicted, okay? So let's start first with
Oh,
this
8%.
young woman up at
Yeah.
the top on the left. Who's that?
That's me.
Cammy?
Yes.
Who's next to you?
Coco.
T. Kinsella, where'd you grow up? I'm in Middle Tennessee. Yeah, Craig Morgan's son died in Kentucky Lake. Yep, that's right. I remember that too.
Okay, the next row, who's in the pink hat?
I'm Jan.
Who's got the pink glasses?
That's got me.
Okay, so they're labeling
Who's
the
next to copy?
picture.
That's
Do you to Kara?
that's fine.
Little tiara on.
That's Ceci.
But I like this process, right?
Little Ceci.
Because then, like, the jury's not going to be like questioning it because this girl is labeling everything. I think it's smart. Cookville, no kidding. They're 17. These girls are 17. Now they're 21. But
Now, when you all start to head back to Ocean Reef, do you remember if everybody sat in the same seats that they did going up to the sandbar?
I don't remember.
Do you have a recollection though of where you were?
Yes.
When you were coming back from the sandbar? Showing council states 1B for identification. I'm showing you an exhibit. It's labeled as 1V for identification. Is this an accurate depiction basically of the layout of Mr. Pino's boat?
Yes.
This time I'm going to state 1V for identification and evidence.
Okay.
Green, marked for ID, stay 6'11".
I'm going to ask you a couple of questions if you remember who was sitting where.
Okay.
Okay, first we have a circle here that says OP. Who was there?
George Pino.
Who was seated in the seat that has the number 1?
Ceci Mama, so mother.
Mrs. Pino?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember who was in seats 4, 5, or 6?
No.
But some of the girls were located there?
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about seats 13 to 12. Do you remember who was in those seats?
No.
How about seats 11 and 10?
Yes.
Okay, who was at seat 11?
Me.
Who was at seat 10?
Copy.
Do you remember who was in seat 7?
Let me Google.
What about seats 2 and 3? Do you remember who was sitting in the back?
Yes.
Who?
2 would be Mia Rodriguez, and sorry, 2 would be Mia Rodriguez, and 3 would be Sarah Gutierrez.
What about seat 8?
Caramote,
And finally, seat 9, who was that?
Lucy.
This is an accurate depiction as best you remember?
Yes, ma'am.
I guess, I mean, the boat looks like it had enough seats for everybody. It's true, Melissa, the hot sun.
I want to ask you a question.
Kati, Lucy, and Mia were all seated on the right-hand or starboard side of the boat?
Yes,
Who were the 3 people that were the most injured after the boat crashed?
it would be them 3.
Mia, Lucy, and Kati?
Yes.
Tiff Knox, Brooklyn, I can't remember this girl's name, but she was on the boat with them. So she was
So on the way back from the
Lucy.
sandbar, did something catastrophic happen?
Yes.
What happened?
I just remember a jolting kind of feeling, where I pop up and the boat starts to capsize.
Up until that moment, were you paying attention to where you were going?
No, ma'am.
Were you serving as a lookout to make sure that there was no danger ahead?
No, ma'am.
Would it be fair to say that you and the other girls were just exchanging, laughs and just hanging out together?
Yes.
After the boat struck something, did you know what it had hit?
No.
Did you eventually find out what it was that it hit?
Yes.
What was it?
A channel marker.
Did you notice those channel markers when you were heading up to the sandbar?
Not that I remember.
Were you paying attention to them on the way back?
No.
Were you the operator of the boat?
No.
After the boat struck an object that you realize now was the channel marker, can you describe as best you can, step by step, what happened?
Hey, Audrey.
Yes. So I remember kind of popping up to my feet. I'm looking around, I see George, and the boat starts to move, and I hear Bob scream jump. So I just jump off the boat. I'm out in the water. Looking around, I see a lot of cushions and water, and immediately I see Nathy Reed. She's like treading water, panicking. She's in the middle of a panic attack, and she's not. And she's not saying float. She's bobbing in and out, not swimming. So immediately, simultaneously actually, Bob is screaming, Lucy, Lucy. And I tell her, I look around, I see who's around us. I see that some girls have been ejected from the boat like farther down. I tell her, I said, go over there, just go and see if she's there. So as I send Bob off there, I turn around, I see Nathy, and I grab a cushion for her, like it's the seat cushion where float. I grab it for her, I give it to her, I said, you just gotta breathe, you gotta hold on to this, and you just gotta stay above water, just hold on and breathe. And she looks at me, she's like, are you okay? She's like, okay, I'm okay. Like, thank you. Okay. And then I hear some sort of like wailing kind of sound. I don't know how to describe it. I'm sorry, I can't go like more into detail, but it wasn't like a crying, it wasn't like a screaming, it was somewhere between it. And I turn around and I see Mrs. Pino holding up Mia, or attempting to, Mia Rodriguez.
Do you need some water?
No, okay, thank you. Mia Rodriguez is covered with like blood. So is Miss Pino. Miss Pino's trying to hold her, but she can't. They're both kind of taking on water. Like any minute now, they were going to be completely submerged in. So back to cushions. Grab another cushion, put it under Mia to kind of lift her up, and hold her above water to help Miss Pino. So it's us two now, kind of holding her up. And then some good Samaritans, I guess, had come into the water at that point, and they're like, "Here, just give her to us." And I kind of give her to them. And at that point, in that handoff, I hear Val. I'm assuming it was her, but I do hear someone telling me, "Lucy, Lucy, like she's not here. She's not here." So I immediately turn around, go by myself, and I just start swimming. I just start swimming towards our boat, the one that's now completely capsized. And and at that point, I see George from, like, I'm getting closer now. I see George's hand on the boat, just kind of like And
Yeah, so George is just hanging on the boat, and these other girls are out here in the water. Okay, tells you a lot right there.
yes,
Only
I can
because
stop.
we're in lawyer land, where you
Oh,
have to
please.
speak out loud.
Oh, sorry.
What you just described, can you tell us what you saw? I think we all saw you, but just so that the record will be clear. What was it that you saw the defendant George Pino doing?
I saw the boat completely flipped over, kind of like I would describe it like a top of shell kind of. I just saw his hands kind of just on the boat.
Why is she shaking? I mean, I think she's got major PTSD. I mean, she's reliving it, the whole thing.
It's completely flipped over and his hands are on the boat. And I just hear from a distance someone saying to check under the boat. And I don't remember anything else.
I want to ask you a question. It sounds like you were really involved in trying to help other people. Did you yourself get injured at all from this?
After everything, like when my dad got me, my head started, like my head definitely started to feel kind of pain, but during no.
And you also told the jurors that you'd had quite a bit of alcohol that afternoon. After that crash, did you still feel buzzed or impaired?
No. There was a point where I believe when the police got there, like on the boat, I kind of like let go and I kind of felt like fog. I don't know if you could put that in the impairment, but before then, I didn't feel buzz at all or anything like that.
Do you feel like you had your adrenaline pumping through your body?
Most definitely, yes.
You indicated that you had seen the defendant right after the crash on the boat. What did you see of him at that moment?
I saw George pass out. He was stuck in the aisle of the boat, tangled in some wires. When I first saw him, I thought he had passed away due to impact.
Were you glad when you saw that he was actually outside the boat holding onto it?
100% yes.
Does there come a time when you see Lucy after this boat crash?
Yes.
Where do you see her first?
From what I remember, I see her on the boat that I'm on.
What's going on with Lucy on that boat?
They're attempting to give her CPR.
Do you remember initially if there were people that were not, like from fire rescue or police that were helping her?
Yes.
Okay, so it was other Good Samaritans?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see how she wound up getting onto that boat?
No.
Aside from you and Lucy, was there anyone else from the boat crash that was on the same boat that you were on?
Yes. Mrs. Pino.
Any other girls on that boat with you that were from the crash?
No.
Okay. Did the police wind up coming up to that boat?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember a helicopter hovering over that boat?
Yes.
What do you remember about that?
I just remember looking up and seeing a helicopter right above the boat that I'm on and a man coming down a ladder, I would say, rope kind of.
What happens once the police and the man that comes down from the helicopter get on the boat that you're on?
I'm sorry, do you ask the question again?
Of course. What happens once the police get to the boat that you're on and the guy from the helicopter comes down and they're now on that same boat with you and Mrs. Pino and Lucy? What's the next thing that happens?
They take Lucy and me and Mrs. Pino to the police boat.
Where were you on the police boat?
So the center console is here, on the other side towards the front, where they usually have a bench right there. That's where I was.
Okay. And where was Mrs. Pino?
Right next to me.
Where do the police take you and Lucy and Mrs. Pino?
Like
Not so much the name of it.
some
but like,
place, yeah, I don't know, I would say, like some station of sorts, I would say.
was there a place to dock boats?
Yes.
Was there like bathroom facilities there?
Yes.
Did you see like grass around?
Yes.
And is that where you wind up staying?
Yes.
For a while at least?
Definitely.
Does there come a time a little after you arrive there that a lot of the other girls are brought to that location?
Yes.
Can you tell the members of the jury which girls do you remember, even if it's not all of them, do you remember any girls in particular that were brought by a second boat to that location?
I remember Ceci, Rosesi, and Claudia.
Did you ever see the defendant at that ranger area station?
Yes.
What did he look like when you saw him?
Well, at this point, had been there alone for a little bit, and then George had come, and I kind of remember them, like, I couldn't talk to him at first, and then I ended up seeing him, and he was just kind of, this is a manner of shock, like, very slow. I remember, like, specifically, it looked like his eyes were, like, kind of coming out, and he was just like, Cammy, what happened? He was like, Lucy, she okay, where is she? And that's all I remember.
Eventually, do the police and fire rescue escort you and the other girls and Mr. Pino away from that Ranger area?
Yes.
Did the police give you and the other girls anything to cover up with?
Yes, some sort of like white blanket, I would say.
Up until that point, had you guys pretty much just still been in the same bikinis you were in for the party?
Yes.
Do the police take you to a marina that's on the main?
Yes, I believe it was Black Point.
Did somebody come and pick you up?
Yes, on my dad.
All right, cross.
Yes, thank you.
Good afternoon, Ms. Alvarez. My name is Janelle Gomez, and I represent Mr. George Pino. We've never met before, right?
Correct.
We've never spoken.
Correct.
You used to play soccer with little Ceci, right?
Yes.
And when I say little Ceci, we all know we're talking about the daughter, and when I refer to the mom, I'll say Mrs. Pino.
Okay.
That's how you met little Ceci, right? Playing soccer.
Yeah.
And you used to consider little Ceci a good friend.
Definitely, yes.
You still consider her a friend,
Definitely.
and you still talk to little Ceci, right?
Yes.
You also know little Ceci's parents.
Yes.
This is interesting. Forensic RNN. Y'all were talking about this in the chat. It's true. As an RN, drunk people survive over the sober because their body is lax and bends towards the force. Wow.
Mr. Pino and Mrs. Pino.
Yes.
And you have known Mr. and Mrs. Pino for at least more than 5 years,
Yes.
since around 2021, that sound right?
Yes.
And you visited the home of Mr. and Mrs. Pino.
Yes, ma'am.
Do your parents know little Ceci's parents?
Yes.
And before September 4th, 2022, before that, have you been on a boat before?
Yes.
You've been on a boat several times,
Definitely, yeah.
you think around 30 to 40 times is,
I would say yes.
okay. And so you have some familiarity with boats,
Correct.
a little bit of experience. So I want to talk now about that weekend, Labor Day weekend, September 2022. So you went to Ocean Reef Club to celebrate little Ceci's birthday.
Yes.
You girls all had like a slumber party of sorts.
Correct.
And your parents knew that you were going to be staying with the Pino family?
Yes.
Did your parents accompany you that weekend?
No.
Did your parents know that you were going to be taking a boat ride with Mr. Pino that weekend?
Yes.
And did they allow you to do so?
Yes.
They allowed you to travel to Ocean Reef and do this boat ride?
Correct.
Your parents trusted Mr. Pino with your safety?
Objection.
So at the sandbar that day, you all went to Billy's Point. That's the name of the sandbar. You were at the sandbar after you left Ocean Reef Club.
Yes.
There were other boats at the sandbar, correct?
Yes.
There was AJ Suarez's boat. Mr. Fernandez also had a boat there as well. So there were other adults.
Yes.
Mr. and Mrs. Pino were not the only adults that were at the sandbar and were part of that group that weekend.
Correct.
And you were all hanging out together.
Yes.
So you testified a little bit about how you had engaged in some drinking that day. And some of the other boys and girls, they also were engaged in some drinking.
Yes.
When you were done drinking, whether it was a glass or a container, you had to throw away that container, right?
Correct.
That's not me.
And you would toss, we're gonna call it the empties, you would toss the empty, let's say on whatever boat was nearest to you when you were done consuming that beverage.
Yes.
And so if you were closest to Mr. Pino's boat, you would toss the empty on there.
Correct.
And you tossed a lot of empty containers on Mr. Pino's boat.
Yes.
And you also saw other boys and girls and other people toss empties on Mr. Pino's boat.
Yes.
You estimate that a lot of these empty alcohol containers were tossed on Mr. Pino's boat.
Yes.
And that's because you were hanging around near his boat for a lot of the time.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see Mr. Pino drinking alcohol that day?
Not that I recall, no.
Now I want to talk a little bit about the boat ride on the way to Billy's Point. You were on Mr. Pino's boat, correct?
Yes.
And Mr. Pino was operating the vessel.
Yes.
On the way to Billy's Point, did Mr. Pino drive his boat in any way that made you feel unsafe?
No.
Did you feel that Mr. Pino was driving too fast?
No.
So you felt safe when Mr. Pino was driving his boat on the way to Billy's Point?
Yes.
You felt comfortable?
Correct.
And now before leaving Billy's Point, I know, you spent some time at the sandbar, you spent a few hours there, right?
Yes.
before leaving Billy's Point, did you have any reason to believe that Mr. Pino was impaired by alcohol?
No.
Okay, now, you were also on Mr. Pino's boat on the way back from Billy's Point.
Yes.
Correct. And I want to talk before the accident, before the crash. When Mr. Pino was driving his boat back from Billy's Point, did you feel that he was driving in a dangerous way?
No.
Did you sense that he was operating the boat in an excessive speed?
No.
Did you feel unsafe in any way?
No.
Was there anything about the way that Mr. Pino was operating his boat that made you feel an accident could have happened?
No, ma'am.
Did you sense that Mr. Pino was operating his boat in a way that put other people in danger?
No.
So you also felt safe during the ride back from Billy's Point into the marina?
Yes.
You felt comfortable as well?
Yes.
And now just before the accident, if you can remember, just before, do you remember did you notice an increase of speed?
Can you clarify that? Because when you get on a boat, like you slow and then you start to go faster. Do you mean that specific time or
Of course,
closer to?
of course. No, right before the accident.
No.
No, if you didn't sense any kind of increase of speed. Now, on that ride back from Billy's Point, was there a time that someone instructed everyone to sit down?
Yes.
You recall that?
Yes.
And did you follow the instruction and sit down?
Yes.
And did everyone around you also sit down?
From what I recall, yes.
And on that point, did everybody have their own space to sit on the boat?
Yes.
Were you sitting on anyone's lap?
No.
Was anyone sitting on your lap?
No.
And you didn't see anyone else, sitting in that way?
Not that I recall, no.
Okay. Did the actual impact, it came as a surprise to you, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And after the impact, you were not ejected from the boat. You stayed on the boat.
Correct.
And you saw Mr. Pino stay on the boat as well.
Yes.
And you testified that he was knocked unconscious.
Correct.
His eyes were closed.
Yes.
You testified that you thought he actually died as a result of the impact.
Yes.
One moment, Your Honor. No further questions. Thank you so much for your time, Ms. Alvarez.
Thank you.
Ms. Alvarez, when you were out there on that sandbar, are you hanging out with the adults mostly, or are you hanging out with the other girls and the boys that are your age?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Were you keeping track of what George Pino's actions were out on that sandbar?
No.
Was he the reason why you were there? Or were you there to be with your friends?
I was there for Ceci.
Now, are you saying that the defendant consumed no alcohol, or just that you don't know if you ever saw him drinking alcohol?
Not that I know of.
I'm sorry?
Not that I know of. Yeah, I don't recall seeing.
Okay. Now, I think you already explained
She's like torn, I feel like, because she's still friends with little Ceci. Do y'all feel like that?
to us that you were seated, as according to this diagram, you see that's number 11. Is that fair to say?
Yes, ma'am.
And so as you're seated in seat number 11 and you look in front of you, do you see what's ahead of the boat?
No.
What do you see when you're looking up in front of you?
Mainly the ground. I'm looking more down.
So are you paying attention to exactly how George Pino was operating that boat?
No.
Did you trust that he was operating it safely 9 seconds before that crash?
Yeah.
Did you trust that he was operating it safely 8 seconds before the crash?
I wasn't really telling.
This reminds me of like when, you know, Wendy's trying to testify to not say anything about her brother or her mom. It's like really hard, you know?
The time. I'm sorry. I don't really understand the question.
Let me take you this way, okay? There was a crash, yes?
Correct.
1 second before that crash, were you worried about whether or not George Pino was operating that boat safely?
No.
2 seconds before the crash, were you worried that he was operating it unsafely?
No.
3, 4, 5 seconds, were you worried he wasn't operating it safely?
Same answer, no.
Because you thought that he was operating that vessel safely, right?
Correct.
Did you trust that you and his wife and his daughter and all those other kids, that he would safely navigate that boat?
Yes.
No other questions.
Well, yeah, I mean, teenagers aren't worried about that. They're just worried about who's buying the drinks. Right. This is the wife. This is, I think, a shortened version. This is like 9 minutes, but please note the bottle of water she brought, Perrier. I would say that would be a bad judgment call. Okay. Audrey, I totally agree. This is like Paul Murdoch's boat crash that killed Mallory Beach. And hey, Truth Seeker.
Your attention to the Labor Day weekend of 2022. Was there a birthday party celebration for your younger daughter?
Yes,
And she was going to be turning 18, is that right?
yes.
How many girls were invited to attend the festivities over that weekend?
There were, including my daughter, 12 girls.
Okay. Where were they supposed to stay for that weekend?
We rented a house that we all stayed in.
Okay. Was this house like a mansion?
No.
Can you describe to the best of your ability what it looked like?
It was a typical normal house. It had about three bedrooms and bathrooms.
Okay. Did you guys have inflatable mattresses for some of the girls?
I believe we did, yes.
Was there a party planned for Sunday night of September the 4th of 2022?
Yes,
And was that supposed to be at a place called The Point?
yes.
Who coordinated that party?
My husband did.
Were you involved in the planning or paying for that party?
No.
Before that party,
I think that's weird too. So the dad did all the planning, the mom had nothing to do with it. Okay. I mean, I don't know really what it would matter anyway, but I don't believe that for a second.
did you and your husband take these 12 girls, including your daughter,
Is that a Chanel jacket, Brooklyn?
out onto Biscayne Bay?
Yes, we did.
The exhibit here, it states exhibit number 8 in evidence. Can you take a look and tell me if this list represents the people that went out that weekend on the boat with you and your husband, including you and your husband?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
What a simple exhibit this is here, right? She's just got like a poster, not poster board, but you know, that core, that foam board. And she's just got all the girls' names typed on there. I think this is smart.
And aside from you and your husband, were any of these people over the age of 21?
No.
Yeah, Marianne, a husband who plans things and party plans would be, yeah. Yeah, blue, trustworthy color.
When you went out into Biscayne Bay that day, was this the first time your husband had ever operated that boat?
No.
Had you ever operated that boat?
Yes.
How up on that day on September the 4th of 2022? Can you tell the jurors, did you operate that boat?
No, I did not.
Who was the only?
Race and rodeo, why are they asking about size of the house? I think she was just trying to prove, oh, and you took air mattresses. Like this was very much a planned weekend, right? It was planned. It was planned to have the drinks. It was planned. It wasn't like this was all just fly by the seat of our pants, no pun intended. But that's what I'm thinking, just to show that, I mean, they were partying and a lot of bad decisions here.
Person that operated the boat on September 4th of 2022?
My husband.
Did you see her smile? My husband. And she smiles because she's like, he's going to go to prison and I am going to be rich, rich, rich.
The only person that operated the boat on September 4th of 2022?
My husband.
Did you serve as a lookout either on the way out toward Billy's Point or on the way back?
I don't remember.
Was there a cooler on your boat that had alcoholic drinks that afternoon?
There was.
Did you film a video that afternoon of the girls singing and dancing along to the song Uptown Girl?
I don't remember the song, but I did film the girls dancing and singing.
Showing council states exhibits 2G and 2H for identification. Pino, I'm showing you states 2G and 2H for identification.
Yes.
Do you recognize what these photographs represent?
Yes.
Are these accurate photographs of what a bottle of Chambord and what a bottle of Prosecco looks like?
Yes.
The state moves 2G and 2H for identification and evidence.
No additional objections.
State Exhibit 2G, previously marked identification, will become State Exhibit number 20 and 2H 21.
So that's what the mom was drinking, Prosecco with some Chambord liqueur poured in it. In a Yeti. And she's like, oh, I just had a couple. But I mean, a Yeti's a big cup. It was probably that whole bottle. Yes, Billy Joel's Uptown Girls, what was planned.
To be clear,
I'm like-
state's exhibit number 20 is a bottle of Chambord.
Correct.
What is Chambord?
Yeah, she's just like leaning over there like she's scrolling TikTok or something.
It's a liqueur.
What kind of flavor does it have?
Like a berry flavor, I think.
Okay, and then state's exhibit number 21, a bottle of Prosecco?
Correct.
Is that kind of like champagne?
Yes.
Do you ever combine Prosecco with Chambord?
Yes.
Did you on September 4th, 2022, while out at the sandbar?
I did. I had in a Yeti. I put some Prosecco and a little splash of Chambord.
Okay, and how many of those did you consume?
I had 1 or 2.
And how many ounces is a Yeti? 32.
I'm now showing you state's exhibit number 10 in evidence. Do you recognize the girls in this photograph?
I do.
Are these the girls that were on your boat, with the exception of Mia, who took the photograph? Are these all the girls that were on your boat?
Yes.
They were all about 17, right?
Yes.
So now she's using the photo that the other girl did to label everyone. And yeah, that's a great point. Lucy's father, who was Andy that we saw testify, and Mrs. Pino, this lady, have known each other since 2nd grade. I'm sure she's completely devastated and could cook him and herself. Yeah.
Do you know how it is that your husband wound up smashing into channel marker 15?
The accident, how it occurred?
How did he wind up crashing into it?
I do not know.
Why not?
I was looking at my phone trying to send a text to the moms, a video of the video of the girls dancing. I was trying to send it to the moms, and I remember looking at the blue line and being upset and frustrated that it wasn't going through the text, and I was looking at my phone.
I'm showing you now state's exhibit number
I wasn't concerned about the roadblock.
1. Who is this?
Lucy.
I mean, Prosecco is basically just like a champagne. I mean, it's just champagne is because it's real champagne is because it comes from the Champagne area of France. And Chambord, I mean, it's just like a little sweet liqueur, you know, like you've got Cointreau, that's orange liqueur. So I guess she just puts a little bit of that berry liqueur in her Prosecco.
And she died because your husband crashed into that channel marker, right?
She died because there was an accident.
I asked you if she died because he...
See, if I was her, I would just be like, it's awful. Andy's been my friend. I mean, like, show remorse. I think a jury would give a lot more grace.
collided with a channel marker.
I'm going to check the argument.
Sustained. Sustained.
No other questions?
Just give a brief sidebar. Brief, very good.
I mean, this courtroom is awful for there to look at him. He sure is tan because I guess he's out on bond. Look at him looking at her. We're gonna get through. Oh, did you see that? He just winked at her. Ew. Look at him like, you're doing good. You're gonna get a paycheck. I'm gonna get you that new Chanel. Did you see that? I saw it. What a piece of shit. This guy's as greasy as his hair. Mia, I find it very odd the level of oh, look at her smiling at him. Normalizing drinking and operating boats. These adults put upon the kids they were raising. We have better than our family, and this is really unthinkable to me. I know. And I'm just telling y'all, like I've told y'all, I have stepkids, and my son, it's really hard those teen years because there are parents that totally and will supply and do everything, and then your child wants to go there.
No questions at this time.
It's really hard. Okay, all done. Perfect.
Okay, so there's no cross-examination and the witness.
I think that was a Chanel. All right, this is the last thing I'm going to show, but this is they showed, was this today or yesterday? Yesterday. They show a lot of the boat crash, the body cam footage. So I thought I would show that.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Bruto.
Good morning.
Welcome back. Just to remind the jury, I know it's just been one day. What is your full name?
Robert Bruto.
And you're still here under oath. Mr. Bruto, some of the questions that I was asking you yesterday, I'm just going to repeat again today.
Little Miss Red Velvet, think about like a channel marker kind of in like the center lane in the road. You know, you're not supposed to cross it. You know, you're supposed to stay on one side. And the channel marker is letting you know that's where the water is deeper. I mean, I'm not really a boater, but that's the best, simplest, I think, way to explain it.
On September 4th, 2022, were you equipped with your body-worn camera?
Yes, I was.
And did you activate your body-worn camera during your response to this crash?
Yes, at some point I activated it.
Now, body-worn camera video, is it in military time?
It's not in military time, it's in world time.
Okay.
So it's completely different. There's a formula to figure out the precise time that it is for your area.
So do you have to convert from universal time to Eastern Standard Time?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Earlier this week, I believe it was on Sunday, did you, Miss Adams, and I view a portion of your body-worn camera video? Is there need to stop at any points, Mr. Bruto? Just that.
Of course.
All right, so before I begin to play the clip, is there a date and timestamp at the top?
Yes, there is.
Okay, just so y'all know, like a lot of it is muted in the video, and the defense allowed them to mute a lot of the things that were said on the body cam footage because it would be considered hearsay.
Can you let us know what it is?
It is September 4th, 2022.
And the timestamp 2324, can you convert that to Eastern Standard Time?
The formula, it's roughly 4 hours you have to subtract.
So
That's 20,
in military time, it's 11, so you minus 4, is that about 7:24 p.m.?
About 7:24.
I'm sorry, sir, you really need to keep your voice in check.
About 7:24 p.m.
Okay.
Thank
Whose
you.
arm is that, Mr. Bruto?
That'd be my arm.
And is this when you arrived at that second boat?
You're correct. That's approximately when I start the camera. The initial 30 seconds, there's no sound. That doesn't come on.
That Miss Pino in the yellow cover up and this girl is laying there. Would you not be down like next to her sobbing? That was like your daughter's friend. Oh my God, she has like pearl dangle earrings on.
One, possibly two. It's south of the ICW, almost like Pumpkin G. It's a big black boat. I'm trying off to the back of it right now.
I mean, is that her in the yellow, y'all? Isn't that her? It's like a big gold earring with a pearl dangle.
Mr. Bruto, you said ICW?
Yes,
This is a police boat, I think, that just got them because the boat was sunk.
Intercoastal waterway, travels.
That travels where?
Travels north and south, along the coastline.
And also, just let, for right now, we're getting rescued here. Like I said, here comes another chopper, so hopefully. Did anybody here witness what happened? In the water. Okay.
Is that her? I'm trying to decide. I can't decide. I just think it's so odd to have her back turned to her.
You know if we have everybody?
I don't think that's her.
From the other people
Okay, so the boat hit the channel marker and they either jumped off or were thrown off. So they were all out in the water. A good Samaritan, so somebody was just there, got them on their boat. Then the police boat or like rescue boat came, and then a helicopter's coming to airlift the injured. But I don't think that's Miss Pino in the yellow. I think this is just somebody that came on another boat because they said Miss Pino had a bloody face.
on that boat? Do we have everybody that we know of? Okay. We took one female from that boat and two other.
I think that's the, I don't want to mispronounce it. Is it Puig girl that had the spinal cord injury? I think that's who's laying there.
People, I don't know. One was a female, but I'm not sure if the other was a male or female. So there were three.
The female that you said was taken off of the other boat, are you referring to Lucy?
Lucy, yes, and an adult female, and then the third one, I wasn't quite sure at that point if it was a female or not.
Okay.
Okay, but there were three people that left on the boat that left. They went to LAQ to be transported to the hospital. So your dad, so we are, everybody's accounted for there, right? Everybody's accounted for. Okay, and the three girls went on the other police boat to LAQ. Okay, that's everybody. That's everybody. Okay. Is this your dad? Okay, you guys want to pull up over here?
No, at this point, I think they've already gotten Lucy out, and she's She and that girl that was on the witness stand earlier and Miss Pino were taken away on another boat. And then I think Lucy was airlifted. Yeah, I know, Tiff, but like I'm just thinking they were all wasted. I mean, if she had 10 drinks, those girls were probably like zoned out, you know? I mean, teenage girls, they're looking at their phones.
Marine Patrol 32. I'm with some of the parties that were on the vessel that were returned. They're advising everybody is accounted for. You heard what you said? So please do me a favor, just have a seat for right now so you don't fall down and get any further injured.
Okay, this guy right here in the pink, that's George Pino here on the right. Is that his wife in this? No, she was taken.
Have a seat. Okay, we've got.
These are some good Samaritans in their boat who got him out of the water. And that's George there in the pink.
Where are you going to the hospital there? I've got more rescue personnel coming. Sure. Like I said, will you just sit down so you don't fall down? I see you got some injuries. Okay, I just don't want you to They grabbed her as quick as they could, got her in a rescue boat, take her to airlift her.
Okay, so that's what he just said, that he got as quick as he could, got the rescue boat, they got Lucy, and they airlifted her off. And then I guess these people got George. I don't really understand. Tiff, you think it was the glare? Yeah. Well, I think the girls, I mean, first of all, they're teenagers. They're drunk, and yeah, they're in shock.
Okay. Until 32.
You said Marine Patrol 32?
Yes.
What does that mean?
That's my unit number in the unit.
Just south from the SCW, just west of Boca Chita Key, down by Ocean Reef. You need the coordinates again. 25-21397-080-17394. Just be careful. Be careful coming over. Please don't move.
You would have a
Mr. Bruto, I'm going to show you what is in evidence as Defense Exhibit B. May the witness step down, Your Honor?
Counsel, for the record, I don't believe that while we moved it already, that it was announced to the jury. Where is it?
The, once we're looking at the, go ahead.
Is that your dad? I'm with some of the parties that were on the vessel that overturned. They're advising everybody is accounted for.
Mr. Bruto, do you recognize the Mr. Pino in this videotape?
Yes, I do.
He's the gentleman wearing the pink bathing suit, is that right? Do you know how it is that Mr.
Mia, so I know you said that the adults are more like, oh, I need to cover my ass. So these adults, they just came upon this and they're helping them. That's what I'm realizing now. Like, these are people that just helped get those girls out of water until the police got there or the whatever rescue. But this is George here in the pink, and they're trying to show like, oh, look how he transitioned from this boat to the other boat. He's totally sober. But these other people, like, they just came upon it. I think they're in shock with like what they're seeing. That's my guess.
Pino got onto the boat that he's arriving at next to your vessel?
I was advised by the operator of the vessel that he saw him drifting in the water near the area.
Miss Pino has been taken away because her face was covered with blood. She went with Lucy and the girl that was testified earlier. She said the three of them went to that ranger station dock.
Are you ready anyway, sir? So please do me a favor, just have a seat for right now, so you don't fall down and get any further injured. Okay, just have a seat.
Yeah, so right now, in my opinion, the prosecution's showing all the emotion. And then she says the key witness does not lie, blah, blah, blah. And she said GPS. It's the GPS on the boat, which I also hope gets Brian freaking Hooker.
Yeah, Mr. Bruto, I'm going to show you an additional
No, it's okay, please. We're all confused.
That's to watch as well.
Just be careful. Careful coming over.
Mr. Bruto, that videotape depicts Mr. Pino under his own power climbing from the first boat, which I'll call a Good Samaritan boat, onto your vessel. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
There did come a time that you learned the name of the owner or the operator of the white vessel that Mr. Pino arrived on. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
Let's see the next video, please.
True crime wifey. Yeah. And whether he was drunk or not, I mean, it's kind of irrelevant. I mean, he was driving 47 miles an hour in a boat going the wrong way. That's reckless, right? I mean, what's her face? Mackenzie, whatever. She didn't have anything in her system really either that would have impaired her.
Before you go to Carlos. When Mr. Pino made his way from the white vessel onto your vessel, you did not witness him stumbling, is that right?
No, he was pretty much sitting down, didn't want him to fall and injure himself.
You did not notice any difficulty that he had taking himself from the first boat onto your vessel?
Not that I observed.
He did not appear to be off balance to you?
Not that I observed.
Next video, please.
Please just say that I just need to get your information. I'll give you a pad of paper if you can just fill out your information. Did you see what happened? All you did was pick up him? Okay, what? You saw him drifting in the water, you just picked him up? Okay, if you can do me a favor. Write your name, address, contact number, your FLs, please.
Mr. Bruto, just for the record, you just viewed video 8:37 through 9:34. Did you learn the name of the operator of the vessel?
Yes, once he wrote it down on the paperwork.
Mr. David Rodriguez, is that correct?
I believe so.
I'm going to ask you to view the next video that we have, which is a timestamp 27:39 and 27:39 through 28:26.
There's a father that's got conscientious lacerations. That's your dad. He's gonna go there. He's gonna follow you there. You're gonna be following. You're going that way, right? No. He's gonna say this. he's injured. He hit his head. Hey, my uncle comes over. That's what I'm saying. He's medical. He hit his head and he's got cuts. So I would get him checked out. I would get him checked out. He's a bad buddy. He's got injuries.
Mr. Brito, you were expressing concern over having Mr. Pino go off with FWC, is that right?
Yes, correct.
And your concern was that Mr. Pino, in your view, might have a concussion, is that right?
Correct.
And on what did you base your suspicion?
Reference to vessel being overturned, the two other injured parties and the extent of their injuries. He did also have a cut on the side of his head, so he could have hit himself somewhere, and he could have had a possible concussion as well. So I wanted the medical concerns be addressed first before they started any of their investigations to make sure he was stable.
Because safety comes first.
Safety comes first. He could have had internal injuries or anything, so we'll try and address the medical first.
So in the video that you just watched, which is 27:39 through 28:26, can you please let the jury know and for the record, what time did this occur?
From the timestamp up top, subtracting approximately 7:52 or so p.m.
So as of 7:52 p.m., you were concerned about your observations about Mr. Pino. Earlier in the video, your body-worn camera footage, 8:37 through 9:14, you were also concerned at that point about Mr. Pino's possible concussion.
Correct.
When was it that you first suspected or became concerned that Mr. Pino might have suffered a concussion in this accident?
Just due to the fact when he first pulled up, he had the cut on the side of his head, a pretty good sized gash, bleeding. And the amount of damage to the vessel being overturned and the injuries to the other females.
When you first met or had interaction with Mr. Pino, was your suspicion about his having possibly suffered a concussion, was it made at that first encounter that you had with Mr. Pino? Or near the time?
It's always on my mind anytime there's a violent accident like this, that the people's injuries or the victim's injuries could possibly have concussion.
Is that your dad? Okay, do you guys want to pull up over here?
Just for the record, Mr. Brito, can you tell us what the timestamp is on body-worn camera footage?
No.
Timestamp 4:02 through 4:43.
Well, maybe they blood tested him later, way later.
So sometime after 7:28 p.m. Is when you started, is when you suspected that Mr. Pino might have suffered a concussion in the accident.
Correct.
The next video I want to show you, Mr. Brito, is at 31:16 through 31:58.
They're all over there, and he can get running. Pam, come over this way, get on German stove.
Okay, I just want to again read the definition of involuntary manslaughter, also known as criminally negligent homicide in some regions. Involuntary manslaughter happens when an unintended death results from reckless or careless actions. The perpetrator did not intend to cause harm, but their behavior displayed a severe lack of caution or care.
Yes, this guy right here, he's help him, sir, come this way, please. Everybody, your daughter and everybody's on these boats, you're gonna go with them. You're gonna go with them, come over here, so you can hold on. Right here.
Sir, this is the contact that you need.
Mr. Brito, when this video began, Mr. Pino is on a red vessel, is that right?
Correct.
Was that one of the fire boats, as far as you know?
That is Ocean Rescue's volunteer fire boat. Yes.
And who is it, or who was it that was asking Mr. Pino to come from the Ocean Reef fire vessel onto this other vessel?
That was myself.
And you see, after you ask Mr. Pino to come to your vessel, Mr. Pino goes from the Ocean Reef Fire vessel, and he steps up onto the top of the gunwale of that vessel. Is that right? Correct. And can you explain to the members of the jury what is meant by a gunwale?
The gunwale was just the top portion of the side of the vessel, the structural side of the vessel.
Now, there is not a lot of width present in this gunwale area that Mr. Pino is walking on. Is that right? Or about to walk on?
Approximately 6 or 8 inches.
In the water, correct?
Correct.
While the boat is having movement as the waves and current through the area are taking place. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yet he's able to climb up on the gunwale, right? Walk a few steps, correct?
Correct.
Keeping his balance, correct?
He's holding on. We always ask them to hold on to something when even we do it, when we do the same movement.
All right, wait, I'm going to read this real quick to y'all. Pino had declined to submit, this is from the Miami Herald. Pino had declined to submit a blood alcohol test at the scene, telling a state law enforcement officer he only had 2 beers. That officer's body camera shows, but his blood was drawn by medical staff when he was taken to Baptist. Hospital staff drew Pino's blood around 11:30 p.m. on September 4th, according to a source familiar with the investigation. The crash happened around 6:37 p.m. Okay, so that's 5 hours, according to Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission investigators. Alcohol takes 60 to 90 minutes to reach peak levels in the blood. Then the body begins breaking it down, according to a Cleveland Clinic report. The average body metabolizes between 0.015 and 0.020 blood alcohol content an hour, meaning for someone at the legal level for intoxication, 0.08, it would take between 4 and 5 hours to reach 0, according to the University of Arizona.
Well, that would be the safe thing for anybody to do, right? That's correct. If someone were impaired by alcohol, for example, they might not make the decision, the wise decision, to hold on to the wall as they were walking along this narrow 6-inch gunwale. Is that right? Correct. And that's what Mr. Pino was doing.
Correct.
Unassisted, by the way, correct?
Correct.
And this is at approximately 7:56 p.m. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes, it's that right here. You said it. Help him. Sir, come this way.
Mr. Bruto, you saw in the video that Mr. Pino was able to step off the boat onto this other separate vessel. Is that right? Yes. By the way, do you have any idea whose vessel Mr. Pino was stepping on?
Yeah, I don't think he was wasted at all, but I mean, he might have been buzzing or something, but it's bad judgment whether he was sober or not. That's my opinion.
I don't recall his exact name right at the moment, but I know I put it down on my report.
Good Samaritan?
Another Good Samaritan, yes.
And for the purposes of the record, would you agree with me that the color of this Good Samaritan's vessel is dark gray?
Dark gray.
I mean, look, if he had been going like 20 miles an hour and accidentally hit the channel marker and, you know, it's just all the other stuff, you know, it's everything else, in my opinion.
Give me allowance for the color blindness that you were on, is that right? Okay. But regardless, Mr. Pino steps off of the 6-inch gun onto the Good Samaritan vessel under his own power, correct? Unassisted, right?
Sharon, if they tested his blood and it was 0 because of what I just read, because they could argue, well, it takes 5 hours, so that's why. So they're just trying to cover their bases, I guess.
Correct.
That's it. Everybody, you're on it. Everybody's on these boats. You're gonna go with them.
Mr. Pino then steps up onto the deck area of the Good Samaritan vessel, correct?
Correct.
Again, unassisted.
Right.
Go with them. Come over here so you can hold on. Come right here.
Okay, sir, this is the contact that you need to call for all the girls that are going there. The parents are all calling the city who's in Margarita Suarez.
I'll call her as soon as I know where they're all going to.
Now, at this point, at timestamp 0034, Mr. Pino appears to be sitting on the gunwale of the Good Samaritan's vessel. Is that right?
Correct.
And he is intending to take himself off the Good Samaritan vessel and onto your vessel. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
Officer Robert Bruto.
No, Officer Robert, what?
Bruto, B-R-U-T-T-O.
At timestamp 0:40, Mr. Pino completes the task of transferring himself from the Good Samaritan vessel up onto the gunwale of the Good Samaritan vessel and steps down into your vessel, correct?
Correct.
Unassisted.
Well, he was assisted by Officer Martin Flores there. On the video, you can see he was holding his arm.
Can you go back and look at that, please?
Robert Bruto.
No, Officer Robert what?
Bruto, B-R-U-T-T-O.
Let's go back a little further back in that seat.
Yeah, you see he's got one hand on his elbow, and then he has somewhere at the
No significant assistance from Officer Delgado, is that right?
Officer.
I'm sorry, Officer Flores, is that right? He didn't have to put his arms on Mr. Pino, come up here and go see. All right. Now, any person in Mr. Pino's circumstance that evening, had Officer Flores been there, he would provide the same sort of assistance, right?
Correct, yes.
Whether the person had been in an accident or not, right? In fact, if it had been one of the uninjured passengers of Mr. Pino's vessel attempting to come from the Good Samaritan vessel onto your vessel, and Officer Flores were there, he would provide the same assistance to that.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this case
So this was an article from last July, about Katie Puig's settlement. So this is the channel marker. It sticks out like 3 to 4 feet, and it's made of metal, is what they say in the trial, and it's about 2 feet in diameter. It says this is the channel marker in the Intercoastal Waterway. George Pino hit. Well, now it's going to make me want to subscribe to the Miami Herald. He's charged with manslaughter. But this was interesting. It says Herald reporters meticulously reviewed agency reports, spoke to witnesses never contacted by investigators, and delved into public records to shine a light on what went wrong in Biscayne Bay. The $16 million settlement ordered late last month, so about a year ago, in the tragic 2022 Labor Day weekend boat crash that ended the life of Our Lady of Lourdes senior Luciana Fernandez and left her classmate soccer star Caterina Puig needing a lifetime of medical care, is just one chapter in the ongoing legal battles. The judgment against Pino's wife, Cecilia Pino, came 3 months after George Pino reached a confidential settlement with the Puig family for an undisclosed amount of money that will be used to fund a medical trust for Caterina. So they got $16 million from the wife, and then an undisclosed amount from him. Pretty wild. And today the jury did a boat visit. Let me see if I can find that to show y'all. So they got to go and be on the boat.
Now at 6, the deadly boat crash trial of real estate developer George Pino. Day 4 of the trial wrapped up earlier today, but not before jurors were taken to the actual boat that Pino was operating before crashing into a channel marker. The impact killed 17-year-old Lucy Fernandez and severely injured Kathy Puig. Good evening. I'm Lauren Pastrana. CBS News Miami's Nakaya Carrero is your reporter live at the courthouse in Miami, where jurors returned after their trip to FWC. Nakaya?
That's right, Lauren. Court just wrapped up in the last 15 minutes, and before the jurors were sent home for the day, they watched a reenactment video of what investigators say they believe is the way Pino crashed into that marker. State prosecution gives jurors a
what?
bird's eye view of a boat traveling in the same area, going the same speed they say Pino was doing before the moment of impact into the channel marker.
Wow.
4 years after the deadly crash, jurors saw the damage for themselves in person.
I'm gonna play that
left with
again.
Impact area. State prosecution gives jurors a bird's eye view of a boat traveling in the same area, going the same speed they say Pino.
If you're listening, you should watch
going the
this.
same speed they say. State prosecution gives jurors a bird's eye view of a boat traveling in the same area, going the same speed they say Pino was doing before the moment of impact into the channel marker. 4 years after the deadly crash, jurors saw the damage for themselves in person, left behind to the 29-foot-long Robalo boat that now sits in the yard of Florida Fish and Wildlife in North Miami. The boat fractured in the middle and open to the point you can see into the boat. A FWC lieutenant brought in a piece of the boat to court and testified about the damage caused to the boat after it hit the channel marker.
That contacted the stable. As that is getting crushed in and it's leaving a mark due to the contact, then the vessel impacts the actual pipe, crushing the side of it. The vessel's tendency would also be to lean because of the impact with the marker at the same time.
The state showed video of the boat laying about 6 feet deep in Boca Chita Key, upside down, damaged. The FWC lieutenant testified about the joint investigation with.
So that's where Lucy was trapped, y'all. She was trapped under there. Okay, this boat is $120,000 to $275,000. I just
Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office that was conducted underwater because the boat had capsized after it hit the marker. According to him, they spent hours passing items to crews above water.
There's 8 phones, a pair of glasses, miscellaneous. There's a couple pairs of glasses. There's a couple of Yeti type tumbler cups.
Yetis.
And a couple of Trulies and a Bud Light can.
Did you say Yeti type tumbler?
Yes.
The FWC investigator also brought into court today one of the only pieces left of the channel marker, as he says the rest of it floated away in the water. Now, court is set to pick back up tomorrow morning here in Miami. Reporting live from Miami, Nakaya Carrero, CBS News, Miami. In a piece of the wildlife, 29 foot for themselves, impact an area.
Hold on,
State prosecution.
Yeah, that's.
Prosecution gives jurors a bird's eye view of a boat traveling in the same area, going the same speed they say Pino was doing before the moment of impact into the channel marker. 4 years after the deadly.
Wow. What is it? What's in there a saying like if it's water always wins? Something like that. Yeah. Mavhawk, right? Yeti. Yeah. They just want to make sure they get that in there. Like they're focusing really on the drinking, but I don't think that's what the prosecutor's focusing on. But I appreciate y'all watching this with me. We'll see what else. I'll do another live soon, but this is going to be a wild one to see what all happens. And do y'all think he will testify? I don't think he will. But thank you. Have a good night. And for a minute here, I've been thinking it was Friday, and I just remembered I have to go to work tomorrow. So I am going. Oh, here. Wait, let me go back on screen. I'm going to go to bed, and I hope y'all have had a good week, but thank you so much for watching this with me. Mia says, Leslie, you guys hear that Montgomery's murderer conviction has been overturned by the Supreme Court in Massachusetts, only from when you typed it earlier. So I'm going to check that out. Thank you all. Thanks. Yeah, it is a fascinating trial, and this one was not on my radar, right? Oh, New Hampshire, not Massachusetts. Okay. But thank you all. I appreciate it. Good to see you, Susan Womack, everybody. So y'all have a great night. See you soon.
I'm Leslie B, just a seeker, a story keeper, and we're still watching, waiting for justice. justice.